All right, here we go. Here we go. So we're gonna stream it again this time. Let's see. What the fuck? Am I streaming? Am I even streaming? Like, oh, I am. Okay, okay. All right, so now we're back. Cause you know how sometimes the stream shit do not work. It will not work. So what we're gonna do? We're just gonna go ahead and get to it. We're gonna get to the real shit. We're gonna react to this 3 hours of motherfucking HodgeTwins and Andrew Tate. So I've been wanting to react to this shit for a minute. I've been wanting to watch this shit for a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch. I only watch like 1 or 2 clips of this, but we go ahead and get it going. All right, up.
Yeah, got a new show for y'all, and it's a special show. We got Andrew Tate in the house.
Number one fugitive. Good to meet you, sir. Good to meet you, bro. Good to meet you. Yeah, so when I have the white side of my family, I make fun of them all the time because they're all skinny little dorks. The white side of my family make fun of the black side of my family because they're all in jail. Well, the stereotypes don't come out of nowhere. I'm here in the middle. I'm not in jail yet.
Right.
But they're trying to get me, so we'll have to see how it all works out.
They could make the innocent look guilty and guilty look innocent. And when I seen you and your brother in handcuffs, I was like, fuck, you look guilty.
Yeah. Funny that. Right. Strange how it works.
Right.
You can get alphabet soup and find all the fucking agencies who have attacked me. And no one puts me in jail. I'm one of the most innocent men on the planet. Why don't we get Hunter Biden, put him through what I've been through?
Right.
Why don't we get fucking Epstein or any of these senators, any of the congressmen, any of them? Put the AG on them. You'll get any of them. But they're coming after me nonstop, can't seem to lock me up. And people are at home going, he must be a criminal. Wake the fuck up. But these people hate me. They don't want the truth. They just hate me. He's been in Florida 6 days. What the fuck's he done? PVD podcast and fucking sleep? I took a piss. AG. You want to fucking put that down? I haven't done anything. And they're saying, the abusive women. I'm sitting here going, who the fuck are we even talking about? Because I don't know who we're talking about. They keep saying the abuse of women. I keep going to court. Every single woman's on my side. The abuse of who? Who have I abused?
How do you think we got here? I mean, what do you think was the point in history that got us to this point where they're going after you and your brother?
The only reason I even came to America is because Trump won. I thought America was bad. I was like, America's bad. Trump's in charge. It's back now. All this dumb shit's over. Turns out it's not.
Yeah, got a new show for y'all, and it's a special show. We got Andrew Tate in the house.
Number one fugitive. Number one fugitive. Good to meet you, sir. Good to meet you, bro. Good to meet you.
Yeah. You know what? Before we even start, you look like my daddy's side of the family.
Yeah?
Are they the good half-breed motherfuckers?
The slick ones, huh?
Yeah. The good-looking ones. The tall, good-looking, light-skinned guys.
So wait, how does it work? Your dad's side of the family are mixed race?
My dad is like, he's black, but he looks like if Elvis got a fucking tan, you know?
Got it, okay.
Yeah, he was really light-skinned, blue eyes, and his wife was black. And but my mom was like brown-skinned. She was a little bit more black, but...
All right, so you have it more confusing. I've just got white and black.
Yeah.
But my dad's dad is black, and my dad's mother was half black. So I guess he's 3/4 black, and my mother's white. So I think I'm somewhere around the third.
Right.
Which is enough.
Yeah.
It's enough. You know, like I'm white
This is
enough.
actually too much.
Well, it depends on the situation.
Right.
It depends on the scenario.
Yeah.
But like I guess, I mean, I'm on time, like a white guy. You know, like I can turn up. I can be white in court, Your Honor.
Right.
You know, but then sometimes you're just black at home. Like, what do you mean, bitch? Clean that.
Yeah.
But I've got a. What's interesting about having such a large dichotomy between my families is I've got a basically completely white family and a completely black family, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I get to make fun of both of them.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. So
your white side of the family is what, Irish?
yeah, they're like Irish English.
Yeah. Our great grandfather was Irish. He had he got with a black chick. He had a white family and a black family.
Real G.
Yeah.
Real G.
Total G.
That's Andrew Tate stuff right there.
Well, I mean, all of this has gone out the window now, and it's seen as super controversial. Like, the world's so fucked up. If you're a full-grown man and you say, look, I have 2 families, or I slept with more than 1 girl this year, the fucking world is a mental breakdown. Like, how gay can you be? Like,
right. That is super gay.
Isn't that as gay as it gets? Like, Andrew Tate's terrible. Did you hear he has sex with women?
Yeah.
Like, what sorry, Kamala.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but so when I have the white side of my family, I make fun of them all the time because they're all skinny little dorks.
Right.
And then the white side of my family make fun of the black side of my family because they're all in jail. So it's, I'm kind of like, well, the stereotypes don't come out of nowhere. I'm here in the middle. I'm not in jail yet.
Right.
But I did it a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But they're trying to get me. So we'll have to see how it all works out.
Yeah. Speaking of that, when you arrived before you and your brother, I seen the governor of Florida bring up that you're not welcome, and then I see a senator. Is he a senator or a congressman?
Yeah, Byron Donaldson.
Donalds. He said you're not welcome here, and they're going to investigate you and stick the attorney general on you. Yeah. What do you think about that?
You know, it should be scary, I guess. I guess I'm supposed to be like, oh shit, the AG and the governor and everyone's after me, but maybe I'm foolish. Even after all the mess I've been through, I still kind of believe in the law a bit in America. Like I've just played the Romanian game. I played the Romanian legal system. I bust my case under Joe Biden in a Romanian court. I'm going to repeat that. I want people to understand how impossible that is. Because I beat my case in a Romanian court under Biden. They're saying all this shit with Trump, blah, blah.
Trump didn't say that.
Yeah, well, Trump didn't help me. He wasn't in power when I bust my case.
Right.
And then eventually they reduced the bail restrictions. After 3 years, I don't know why anyone's surprised. 3 years I was trapped there. After 3 years, they say, okay, you can have his passport, you can travel. I decided to go home, and the Floridian governor and the AG decide to instantly attack me. And I sit there and I go, I've been in Florida 7 days in my entire life. So I don't know what fucking case. I don't know what they're going to do.
What jurisdiction do they have?
Well, I haven't got a clue. So I guess they're just going to start running all over the world, sending letters to everyone.
Right.
But it's kind of incredible. I don't know if the people who hate me are stupid or if they just want to hate me and not use their brain.
Right.
But when a famous person is attacked with these kind of accusations, loads of victims come forward. Name anyone. Hundreds of victims, new lawsuit, victims. I'm 3.5 years in with the most media spin of any case ever without a single girl coming forward. Every girl they get hold of is like, nah, he's nice. I like him. I like Andrew. I defended you, baby. Can I see you? No one's against me.
Right.
It's the government who's against me. It's the government who's against me and my women. We're all on one side.
Right.
It's completely incredible. And I guess it's heartbreaking. It's kind of sad to know that even Florida, which I considered to be a red state, I thought it was a Republican state. They just totally turned on me. Candace said it was because I defended Palestine. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but all I can do is welcome it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, you watch those movies like Scarface and Casino and Goodfellas and stuff, and you're just this guy, and you're going here and there, and the DA's chasing you all the time, trying to chase you down, put you in jail. It's kind of what it feels like. Like I go somewhere, I'm having a good time. I'm in a nice restaurant. We're having a great time. We're in a hotel suite. There's some DA in an office trying to get me in jail. It's like fucking. Yeah. I mean, Scarface ends well, right? He disappears into the retirement, into the sunset.
Right.
He just leaves with his family and has a happy time. I think that's how it ends. It's going to be fine, guys. Scarface ends with him retiring with all his children, and everything's a happy ending.
Yeah, it's so disheartening because you expect a Democrat to say these things, but not a Republican, especially Byron Donaldson. He's a convicted felon.
What was he convicted of?
Typical black shit. He did like check fraud or some shit.
With that fucking, he should have been at the airport.
Typical black guy.
He should have been at the airport. Me and him should have been best fucking friends.
Right.
I haven't been convicted of anything ever.
Right.
You know what's amazing to me? What's truly amazing to me is the false dichotomy and the mental breakdown when people say, "Oh, he only busted his case in Romania because Romania's corrupt." Well, then that means them arresting me was corrupt.
Right,
Either it's all corrupt or none of it's corrupt. If it's not corrupt, I'm innocent because I bust case. If it's corrupt, I shouldn't have fucking had a case.
Right.
The whole thing's incredible. Byron's a convicted felon.
He was arrested for marijuana.
Someone tweet that at him.
Wow.
Fuck these, bro.
Yeah.
I have no criminal record.
Yeah.
I have zero criminal record anywhere on the planet ever.
Yeah.
And they talk about me like I'm the fucking boogeyman. It's I don't know if it's flattering.
Yeah.
I like I said at the beginning, I guess I should be intimidated. I should be scared. My mom called me. She's like, the AG's after you. The governor's after you. And I'm like, fuck them, man. Come then. I don't think I've done anything.
Right.
I don't think I've done anything. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I think like the media is so powerful. They can make the innocent look guilty and guilty look innocent. And when I seen you and your brother in handcuffs, I was like, fuck, you look guilty.
Yeah. Funny that. Right. Strange how it works.
Right.
No, but it's actually a simple tactic for everyone at home who doesn't understand exactly how it works. Firstly, the media, they soften you to all ideas. The media don't report ideas. And yeah, the media lies to you. But what they actually try and do is set up an idea. So they do this all the time. I talked about this on PBD with Diddy. When the Diddy video of him come out beating Cassie.
Right.
The first thing I said to Tristan was, That video is 10 years old.
Yeah.
That's been sitting in an archive for 10 long years.
Yeah.
The Matrix has had that for 10 years.
Yeah.
They've released that now to alter public perception because they're going to arrest him. I said that to Tristan 2 weeks later. He was in cuffs. They do that. So with us, they start printing.
He pissed off the wrong shoe, right?
I don't know who I know. I pissed someone off.
Yeah.
But the media was constantly slandering us so heavily before the arrest. I said to Tristan, they're just setting the public up to put us in handcuffs. That's what they do. They set things up.
Right.
So now, when you watch the media, you can almost predict the future about what they're trying to say about somebody. They did it with COVID. They do it with everything. And you're right. They can make you look extremely guilty. Of course they can. That's their whole job. The job, what they're trying to do is put such a terrible stigma to your name that nobody listens to your ideas. They only discuss the stigma. So when someone say Andrew Tate now, they don't say Andrew Tate, he talks about this, 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 and this. They say Andrew Tate, he's accused of.
Right.
That's their goal, to distract, to deflect, conflate. But I like to think it's kind of backfired in their case. I mean, I've had no negative interactions on the street. Everybody knows who I am. I like to think it's backfired, but I guess we're going to see. But now we have the AG trying again. Their problem is, if they don't, I'm sure they're going to try and pull something out their ass. I'm sure they're going to probably try and arrest me all over again. I'm built different, so I don't give a fuck. I like to think that when they put me in handcuffs and start dragging me around, there's enough people with a brain to go, bro, he's been in Florida 6 days. What the fuck's he done? PVD podcast and fucking sleep? I took a piss. AG. You want to fucking put that down? What if I haven't done anything? So I don't know what they're going to do, but unless they get me, it's just backfiring now because they've tried so hard. I would argue that I'm one of the most innocent men on the fucking planet. You put any other man through the shit I've been through the different federal agencies.
You're like Trump.
Bro, it's like a fucking, you can get alphabet soup and find all the fucking agencies who have attacked me. And no one puts me in jail. I'm one of the most innocent men on the planet. Why don't we get Hunter Biden, put him through what I've been through?
Right.
Why don't we get fucking Epstein or any of these senators, any of the congressmen, any of them? Put the AG on them. You'll get any of them on anything. Racketeering, influencing, lying, corruption, money laundering, all of it. But they're coming after me nonstop, can't seem to lock me up. And people are at home going, he must be a criminal. Wake the fuck up. But these people hate me. They don't want the truth. They just hate me. So when they don't want to be logical about it all. So it was kind of disappointing to see that was my reception. In fact, it was very disappointing. But
it's shocking to me.
It is shocking. But you know,
I could see if he was going to California or something, or New York.
yeah, right. of course. But
man, California would be fucked for him.
But play it.
Oh, the convicted felon, right?
Let's see what the convicted felon has to say.
I like this dude.
Tate and his brother
Well, so did
Tristan.
I.
Because in Romania, where they just came to Florida from, there were charges of rape, sex with minor, and human trafficking. Do you support the Attorney General's actions here?
I do. I think those allegations have to be fully investigated. And
they were fully investigated in Romania, and they let me go.
We don't tolerate the trafficking of women or, frankly, the abuse of women. They
didn't want that bad look. They didn't want that bad look in Florida. That's what it is. Overall, it don't really matter what the hell it is. They don't want that bad look. So if you get that bad look, it just won't work. So that's the only reason why they try to stay away from Andrew Tate, because they already know that they're gonna give the supposed perceptive of a bad look. So yeah, I don't really buy that shit. I feel like y'all just doing it because y'all been told by other people that you shouldn't be fucking with them. Just like how everyone said about Trump. So I mean, I'm just saying.
A woman who
finds cause under Florida law to investigate that, then I wish him the best, and I support whatever he's going to do on that matter.
Are Andrew and Tristan Tate welcome in Florida?
No. Quite frankly, not.
Bro,
because if you listen to some of the dialogue, I find it to be demeaning and disgusting.
Guys, it's so amazing to me. The abusive woman. I'm sitting in this scenario, and they're saying, the abusive women. I'm sitting there going, who the fuck are we even talking about? Because I don't know who we're talking about. They keep saying the abuse of women. I keep going to court. Every single woman's on my side. The abuse of who? Who have I abused? When they say the abuse of women, in our indictment, my brother and I's indictment in Romania, they said we're human trafficked. The mothers of our children. They're saying that the mothers of our own children, who we have kids with, that we lover boy method, so by being nice, and financial incentives. So wait, being nice to the mother of my baby and giving her money? Fuck it. So I finally do the white thing. I finally take care of my kids. And they fucking call me a human trafficker. No wonder the brothers out here are like, well, fuck, I'll catch a case. It's incredible. And these people are walking around talking about the abuse of women. The abuse of who? Name a woman. Because I fucking can't. They just say bullshit. They just spout garbage.
I would think
he really disappointed me.
Libel lawsuit against them. That's slander.
I'd like to think so. It's free speech in America. I don't know how it works. I'll have to talk to my lawyers and see. But I kind of feel it's all going to fade to nothing. And then they made a huge mistake because unless they get me, I can just bring this up for the rest of human time. Well, if Florida investigate me and Florida found nothing.
Right.
So the Romanians failed, the British failed, the Floridians failed. Like, how many fucking people are going to allow? I guess for the rest of my life, this is going to be my life.
Right.
So I have to live as clean as possible, which is what I do. I don't do anything fucking wrong.
Right.
I'm Mr. Squeaky Clean.
Right.
I close the toilet. I close the toilet seat, sir. Because they're after me.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, Ron, I kind of expected it because I don't trust short motherfuckers. So
Yeah.
because short people are sneaky.
I think Byron's kind of short too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
See, this is a life lesson.
Yeah.
Because like tall people, like we confront because we're big and we can fight. Small people are like sneaky. You know? They have to be.
Yeah.
It's their tactic.
Lord Forequart.
It's their tactic. It's like get around the back and like get a little knife, like little.
Yeah. Right.
So he's got his booster shoes on, talking shit.
Yeah. How do you think we got here? I mean, what do you think was the point in history that got us to this point where they're going after you and your brother?
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing because the only reason I even came to America, I could have gone anywhere. The only reason I even came to America is because Trump won. I thought America was back. I was like, oh, America's back. Trump's in charge. It's back now.
Hell no, that shit is long before it come back. These weird motherfuckers ain't ever gonna leave until like another 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more years. It's gonna be a long time. It's a culture war. So those who don't know, it is a culture war going on. It is not a war. It's a culture war. People just need to get that shit together and wake up. They're trying to make us fight each other. So just remember that.
All this dumb shit's over. Turns out it's not. It's kind of incredible. I mean, the liberals have a very potent tactic, which they understand if they attack any conservative with garbage, with the media, they understand the conservatives will self-cannibalize. They understand that very well, and it works.
Yeah. I love Trump's response when they asked him the question.
Of course. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is the most gangster response, like talking to the police.
Yeah. Takes a strong person to
Don't
say
know.
that.
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
But also, truthfully, he didn't know. Like, he doesn't know he ain't read my Romanian indictment. Neither has the convicted felon or the short motherfucker or the AG. And if the AG wants to read it off the Romanians, he can. But it doesn't make a difference because the Romanian judge has already said, no, fuck this, it's trash.
Yeah.
A Romanian judge has said that. So I don't know what they intend to do. It is scary. If we get serious about it, it's actually truly heartbreaking and very scary that an American citizen can return home after being unfairly imprisoned under a questionable judicial system. Let's not sit here and pretend any of us trust the fucking Romanians. Yeah. We all know, like, we've seen the kind of bullshit cases you get in America. Imagine Romania. And that's the welcome I get.
Yeah.
So,
it sounds like they were ignorant that you're an American citizen. It sounds like they want to bar you from coming into the country.
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were just talking out their ass. I don't know if they thought they could score cheap political points.
That's what I think it is. Political points.
Political points.
Maybe it's something you said politically.
Maybe.
But,
what controversial opinions
people.
have I had? What have I said that would have pissed them off? Interesting.
I think it has something to do with God's chosen people.
It's kind of funny because all those conspiracy theories they get proved right time and time again in certain ways when things like this happen. So it is kind of scary. It's very heartbreaking, but you just have to go through the process, right? So I'm happy to talk to them. I'm waiting for their phone call or I'm waiting for their arrest and their perp walk. I just like to think that there's enough people with a brain now who, if they see me get perp walked, say, wait, let's see what fucking case they even have. Because I'm in the position where they'll do anything they can just to perp walk me.
Right.
They don't need a fucking case. They're just like, let's just put him in handcuffs. Let's call CNN. Let's just put it on the fucking news. Let's destroy his name. Let's drag him through the mud. Let's make him pay legal fees. In the end, it comes to nothing. That's all they've been doing to me for long years.
So Romania dropped the charges, right?
So the way it works is, and the Romanian judicial system is, even I don't completely yet understand it after 3 years with it. But basically what happened was I got arrested in May of 2022 or something. They let me go after a day. And they said, this is bullshit. There's no case here. It's like, okay. And then the UK Foreign Office, which I know this to be a fact, sent a bunch of letters to the Romanians saying, we want this guy off the internet. We think he's a problem. He's a big problem in our schools. He's misogynistic. And you can look this up. Inside of UK schools, they've spent a bunch of money trying to get rid of me because all the kids were walking around calling their teachers brokies. That's not funny.
That's what you call influence.
They were saying to the teacher,
powerful man.
what color's your Bugatti? To the teacher. So the teachers all got butthurt because they're fucking women.
Right,
They can't take a joke.
Yeah,
You know?
right, yeah.
So I'm the most dangerous man in the world. Not the drugs, not the constant stabbing, not the unchecked immigration, none of that. No, I'm the problem, right? And then they talk about, there's violence against women going up because of Andrew Tate. Oh, not because you have a fucking open border where 10,000 illegals turn up a day.
Right,
no, that's nothing to do with it. It's because I made a joke about a Bugatti. So they spent millions and millions of dollars trying to get me out of the schools writing endless letters to Romania saying, this motherfucker's on podcasts in Romania. Can you make him go away?
Right.
So my case, I was arrested in like May or something. The case laid completely dormant until the UK Foreign Office letters started coming in. Then they picked up the case again, and they started to just come up with any trash they could. I was in Dubai for 3 or 4 months, and then I went to London. Nothing happened in London. I went to Czech Republic. Nothing happened there. I went back to Romania to pack my bag for one day, and they picked me up and arrested me. That's when I first went to jail. And I got charged with all this insanity, complete crazy case. It was interesting because the first 2 weeks I was in jail, I didn't even know what I was charged with because it was all in Romanian. And they're like, oh, we need a translator, but it's Christmas. So I was like, yeah, Merry fucking Christmas. So I'm sitting in Romanian jail.
That's right, you were in jail for Christmas.
I was at Christmas and New Year. I'm sitting in jail. I didn't even know what I was in there for. And a Romanian jail. It's not like these jails.
Right.
You know, it's as bad as it gets. So I'm sitting in there, and then eventually I get out after 4 months, and I was on 9 months on house arrest. And then they let me free within Romania. And then our case, we started to win. We were going to all these different court trials, and it turns out all the evidence against us was illegal. They illegally wiretapped us. They lied in the translations. Like, bro, they literally lied in translations. I'd say to Tristan, kick him out. And they changed it to kick him and charged us with violence, inciting violence. They just fucking lied. They just lied.
Crazy.
So the whole thing was a setup, and we started winning in court. When we started winning in court, then the Brits tried, because I don't know if you know my whole thing. I got arrested again for 24 hours, and the Brits tried to extradite us. And I was like, okay, what are we getting extradited for? They're like, in 2009, you attacked a woman. Like, what do you mean attacked? Don't know. It says violence. It's the Romanian guy. He goes, it says violence against women in 2009. I'm like, what woman?
2009?
Yeah. I was like, what woman? Doesn't say. Where? Doesn't say. When? Doesn't say. It says attack against a woman in 2009. Extradite. So I guess they've gone through my whole past and found some bitch from 2009 who wants a payday. And they hit me with this extradition warrant with no details. I don't know who this person is. I don't know where it happened. I don't know the date. How do I defend myself? Do you have a statement? I was like, me give a statement, you give a statement. You tell me in 2009, fucking, even if you told me the date, I wouldn't know where the fuck I was. I don't know when this was, where this was, who this is. What can I say? This is bullshit. The Romanian judge said, this is garbage. We're not going to extradite him. We're going to keep him in Romania to finish his Romanian cases. And when they finish, then we'll consider extraditing him to the UK. That was that shit. Then the Romanians hit me with a second case. So once I started winning, it escalated. They hit me with a second case. I got arrested again. And it was the first case reordered. The first case in a different order. Literally. Same people, same event, same time, same everything. But instead of Andrew and Tristan did this, it was Tristan and Andrew did this. Fucking garbage. Arrested us again. Back in jail again. Judge let me out. Tristan was free. I was on house arrest. I did another 9 months on house arrest. And then after all this, we're now 2.5 years in. Then our first case got to something called the preliminary chamber. So basically, a judge decides if there's enough evidence to go to trial. So after 2.5 years, we didn't even know we were gonna have a trial. After 1.5 years locked in my house, 4 months in jail, complete reputation slander, all my cars taken, all my money taken, everything taken off me. Then they finally get to preliminary chamber. The judge looks at it and goes, yeah, this is bullshit, and send it back to the prosecutor. After all that shit, the case was dismissed. She goes, there's too many irregularities in the evidence. Basically, this is fake. This is made up. They sent it back. This was in December. And traditionally, when this happens in Romania, you get all your assets back and your bail's removed. Traditionally, right? They go, okay, well, the case got sent back, so the case is effectively over. The prosecutor can try again by law if he wants to. He can try again. But you get all your assets back and the bail's removed. In my condition, they kept all my cars, kept all my stuff, and kept the bail.
No.
So
how much was that valued at?
18, 19 million?
Wow.
Of cars, gold, watches, cash, everything they could get their hands on. I mean, that's nearly fucking 5% of my money. I was pissed.
Only 5%. Rest of it's in the stock market.
Those motherfuckers like, we got him. How does he keep paying for lawyers? No, but so they kept the bail on, and they kept all my assets. And then it comes down to 2 months later in February, they finally say, okay, we're going to give him his passport and let him travel, but he has to report to Romania once a month. So even though the case has been thrown back to the prosecutor, now the prosecutor gets a year or two, I think, to try again. You talk about a judicial system. Imagine in Romania if a prosecutor sends a case to court, they say it's all fake, it's all made up, this can't go to trial, and they give it back to him and say, we'll keep him on bail, try again. Here's years of his life, try again.
Right.
Fucking incredible. They give me my passport, I get it, I fly to Miami for spring break, I get a fucking case here. Like, can I catch a break?
Nuts,
can I catch a break? Can I catch a break?
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible how these people hate me so much. They are so desperate to get me.
Yeah.
And the way they cry and complain about me just is actually in many ways so fantastic for my reputation because they make me sound like the fucking boogeyman.
Yeah.
They make me sound scared. I'm one man. They make me sound like I'm fucking a demon who can like wink and make a bitch come. I'm just a guy with sunglasses on.
Yeah.
They're having a fucking mental breakdown about me. Not the drug cartels, not USAID, not people dying in the Ukrainian wars. None of that shit. No, Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
It's fucking incredible.
They're treating you like Epstein.
Bro, well, no, they're not treating me as good as him because he gets away with it.
Yeah.
He gets to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. Do you realize how popular you are?
I don't know.
How much influence you have? Every comedy show we go, hey man, do y'all know about this guy Andrew Tate? I said, no, I never heard of him. Every comedy show. I was like, who the fuck is Andrew Tate? So I look at y'all and say, oh wow, I see why this dude is so popular.
Yeah.
Very appealing, resonates with a lot of people. But I think you don't really get the influence you have on people, especially when the British government came after you because you say one thing and it goes viral, goes across the entire globe.
I think
That's what they're scared of.
I think what they're scared of, that you're empowering men.
Yeah.
Because men are becoming feminized and weak, and that benefits the left, whether you're in America or you're in Europe.
Oh, of course. I'm teaching men to think for themselves, and I've now become, unfortunately, you could argue, but I'm a symbol of bravery now.
Yeah.
So they have to chop my head off, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, I want to be perfectly honest with you, gentlemen. I've thought about this long and hard. I had about a year and a half in my house to think about this. If they let me walk, I'm a problem. Imagine at the end of all this shit, they say, Tate's innocent. Right? All we did to him was wrong. We owe him fuckloads of money. It was all made up. It was all a lie. You want to talk about influence? That's fucking influence. But that's not a comforting feeling. That actually makes me sit here and think they're not going to let me walk. Like, you think they won't fucking make it up? Like, at certain levels of lawfare, at certain levels of the legal system, it's simply just a clown show. We saw it with Trump in New York.
Right.
At certain levels, it's nothing to do with law. It's about, we need to achieve an objective against this person, so just fucking make it fit. And I'm sitting here thinking, do I stand a chance of a fair trial? Bro, when I bust my case in Romania, when I walked out the courtroom and we'd won, I was like, what the I mean, obviously I knew I was innocent. Obviously I knew it was made up, but I was like, they did all this and then let me win? It seems illogical to me for them to go through all this mess to then let me walk. Now, that's logical if law is real, but I don't believe law is real. I believe at a certain level, it's a target and hit job, and they just fucking make it up. That's what I truly believe. And then you have to analyze it from a socioeconomic perspective. If the Matrix believes I'm such a threat to them, and they believe that they're going to have more control over the entire world's population if I'm gone, I'm just one man. Sometimes the pawn dies for the chess game. Like, so I don't know what chance I stand, truthfully, which is why I laugh and joke about it, because I have to just come to the realization, this is a fucking hit job. This is set up. I'm going to do my very best, but it is what it is now. At this point, it really, truly is what it is. It's like the ignorance of my mother, who I love with all my heart, but she's like, well, you've got good lawyers. I'm like, lawyers have nothing to do with this.
Sound like a woman would say something.
Yeah,
like that.
I just need a lawyer to beat the Matrix. Oh, okay.
Right.
My lawyer will tell him I didn't do it. Like, it's nothing to do with lawyers. It's nothing to do with law. It's all just fucking made up.
Right.
So it's kind of a scary position to be in, but all you can do is laugh and put up memes and make fun of them and piss them off. I guess I know my enemy's going to have no mercy on me, so I have no mercy on them. I'm not going to sit here and try and pretend these people are going to ever be logical. They're going to do their very best to destroy me, knowing I've done nothing. So I'm just going to make fun of them the whole fucking way.
Yeah.
And if I do bust all these cases, then I got to worry about getting shot. So it's like, maybe I don't know what to do, but we'll see how it goes.
I think a lot of people don't realize how corrupt governments are around the world, even the U.S.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, what they did to MLK, JFK. I mean,
even after COVID, even after Trump, they still don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, what's a government's end objective? A government's end objective is control of the population. And we all know what it's like. This is human nature. When you start to make money, you want more money. When you start to get control, you want more control.
Right.
This is how things work. A government wakes up every day and says, how can we control these motherfuckers even more?
Yeah.
They'll push as much as we'll accept. The only thing that stops them having absolute control is we'll revolt. But they're constantly testing that line. What can we get away with? What can we get away with? Constantly, all of the time. I'm a problem because I inspire people to fight back. And I've now been shown as a symbol of resistance. I'm the only person in history, in Romanian history, a big guy in Romania said this to me, a guy who'd been to jail a whole bunch. And he was guilty. And Guilty as sin. Murder, drug trafficking, everything.
Yeah.
He said, you're the only guy in the history of Romania who's ever spoken against the system and walked. Everyone shuts up when the system comes to them because they know it's corrupt. You're fucked. So you just like, I respect the judge, I respect the system, I look forward to the process. You're the only motherfucker saying, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Because you're the only person to ever do that, ever. And now you've beaten it. If I continue to do that here and everywhere else, they're going to have a really big problem because it inspires resistance, it inspires bravery. Bravery and masculinity is what they fear because they want to enslave us. They want to make us slaves, and it's the men who are not prepared to be slaves that are in the way. It's not the women that are in the way. Women are happy. Women love being slaves. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit. Give me Instagram likes, give me a Birkin, I'll be a slave. I don't give a fuck. I'll go to fucking Dubai, I'll live in a fucking compound, I'll get pissed on. Give me a Birkin. I'm a slave. Great. Women don't care, right?
Yeah, women don't give a shit.
Women don't give a shit. And feminine men are basically chicks. So you have a few small subsect of men left who are like, no, I don't want a Birkin. I want freedom. And we're in the way of it all. So because I'm the symbol of that, they just want to get rid of me by hook or by crook. And I am so disappointed that Florida did this. I am really genuinely. I wasn't scared. I'm not scared of them. I'm not intimidated by them. There's not a drop of fear inside of me. It's just genuine disappointment. I'm just like, what the fuck? I expected a hero's welcome, to be honest with you. I really, truly did.
Yeah.
But you learn something new every day, huh? So I guess when that jet landed, I had no Wi-Fi on the jet. When the jet landed and there's fucking media everywhere and the jet had been tracked and all this crazy. I was just like,
dude, you got
well, is it welcome home? Hi, guys. We're investigating. I'm like, oh, you motherfuckers. I was like, gee, I just landed. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Can I nap? Can I nap, Ron?
I don't think people really realize how it is to stand in your shoes, what you're going through. Yeah. Because that's crazy. You're like, I'm not a Romanian. You get to Florida, or we're investigating you.
Oh, my God. You know, it's I've said this before on lots of different podcasts. I've said that your success in life is directly correlated to the amount of stress you can deal with. And this is true. It's kind of like air resistance. And when you look at cars or you look at jets or any of these things, how fast they can go is directly correlated to how much air is going to be pushing against them. No matter how successful you get, Trump's a perfect example, Elon's an example. No matter how successful you get, the more successful you become, the more the opposite force is going to push against you. And most people get to a certain level and go, okay, that opposite force is too much. But I just kept going and going and going and going and going. And now I'm up here at terminal fucking velocity. And the enemy force is coming
Mach
at me. Bro, yeah, Mach 5, exactly. So, yeah, you're successful, but sure, it's very stressful.
I think a lot of people, the way you resonate with so many people, because you're brutally honest and you look at things like with a clear mind. Like I saw this one video where you was comparing a transgender, which is a man, right? Yeah. But you can't tell it's a man. It's like a female.
Yeah.
And then you got a woman, but she like Hulk Hogan. You said, if you fuck Hulk Hogan, you're gay. Which makes sense because you're getting up for a dude.
Of course.
Yeah.
I say things that make people think.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Right.
And then what I do, I say things that make people think. And then there's certain people who can't think, so they get upset by it. And then there's and then there's also, I say things which are clipped out of context, and people take those clips and put them everywhere over the internet, so people only see that, and they remove all the context from it. It looks worse than it is.
Yeah.
The most recent thing I said, and I'm not saying anything I say is wrong. It's not wrong. It's right. But they just don't like the way I say it or make people think. I said something. I was arguing with someone on Twitter. Have you seen my tweet that women are sex workers? Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that
so
one.
Basically.
Because he has.
I'm laughing. Let me laugh at myself for a second. Why do they put me in jail? Don't arrest me. And then I sit here and
which is true because a lot of women have a financial incentive when they even date a man now. Yeah.
So I said women are sex workers. I said women. They try and find one customer called a boyfriend or a husband who in return for sex pays for their whole life. If they can't find one customer, they find a bunch of customers on OnlyFans. And if they're not hot enough to have any customers, they're miserable and they have a job. They're sex workers. All women at some degree are sex workers. And then I put that up. My girlfriend goes to me, I'm not a sex worker. I was like, let's stop having sex. See how much money you get. She goes, well, yeah, I guess. Earn your money. So you're a sex worker. Women are sex workers. And I was saying that, and then I also said that men are judged on our competence.
Hey, this motherfucker wild though. I ain't gonna lie, he hella wild, but he funny though. But it's like it's a different perspective. That's all I can say.
So we're only judged and we're only cared about for what we can do. Nobody gives a shit about our feelings. Nobody gives a shit about. There's none of this. Oh, poor him. No one gives a fuck. If you're not useful to somebody or something, you can fucking die in a ditch. Not only do women not care about you, society doesn't care about you, and other men don't care about you. We all want useful friends. I don't want no fucking useless. next to me. I don't know you. You can't do
Yeah,
nothing.
those are the worst.
Those are the worst. I hate them too.
They're leeches.
They're leeches.
Yeah.
So men are judged by competence and women are judged on the sex. So women are sex workers and men are competence objects.
Right.
Yeah,
And I say that, and bro, the mental breakdown, not mental breakdown on Twitter. He said, "Oh, women are sex workers." It's like just because you're ugly and you can't get a fucking sex work job. If you were a baddie, you'd be on a yacht in fucking Dubai, but you're not.
Right.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Yeah, I came across this quote. It said, show me a person that tells the truth 100% of the time, and he'll be the most hated person in the world."
Well, I'm getting close. I'm getting close. But and I also do understand a lot of it's the way I frame things. I do kind of say things in the most not aggressive, but prerogative way possible.
Right.
You know, I don't say women can't lift as much as men. I'll say females are weak.
Right.
And then they'll have a mental breakdown. But it's still true, but I just say it in that way.
Right.
But maybe I'm a troll. Guys, let's do this. This is like Dr. Phil. Let me be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe I just can't control myself. I love pissing them off.
Right. You feed off that shit.
Maybe I'm just like, women are sex workers. Da, da, da. And I read the tweet back. I'm like, this is going to piss him off. Don't do it. Andrew, you're a female judge. You got a female judge.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I walk in front of the female judge in Romania. Your Honor.
Right.
Maybe I just can't fucking help it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I believe it to be true, so I say it.
Yeah, you're very polarizing.
Polarizing's the word.
But everything, we did a video a couple days ago. I said, man, everything you say is actually true.
Yep.
You can't deny he's not lying.
If I was lying, they wouldn't attack me.
Yeah.
If I was lying, if the things I was saying weren't true, they wouldn't attack me. If I was,
they'd mock you.
They wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If I was walking around saying things that weren't true all the time, they'd completely ignore me. The reason they fear me so heavily is because I say things that are true. If I say women can't drive, the reason they have a breakdown is because women can't fucking drive. That's why they get mad.
Especially Asian women.
All of them. Bro, my girlfriend says to me, I'll drive. No, I'll walk.
Right.
I will walk before you drive me anywhere.
Right.
Ever. Bro, if I get on a plane and the female's flying, I'm turning around and getting back off that fucking plane. No, I'm not doing it.
Y'all seen that somewhere. If I get on a plane that's a female pilot, I'm getting the fuck off.
No, but and they'll get so offended by this. And they'll be like, how could you? Every man knows I'm telling the truth. You know that.
Women panic.
Women panic under pressure. So if my plane's going down, I would argue, call me crazy. That's pretty high pressure.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. She's gonna be screaming.
She's gonna be screaming. That's the last thing. You know when you get on a plane and they're like, in the event of an emergency, your air stewardess will give you the, and you look over and you see some fucking 19-year-old bimbo. That's the first thing I think. I go, who's gonna help me as this plane crashes?
You gonna hear that bitch screaming, oh,
cake face with her fucking makeup sitting there on TikTok. I'm like, oh great, the plane's on fire. Nancy, what should we do, Nancy? Fuck off. She ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
It's all like, but you're not supposed to say these things. You're not allowed to say these things. And one of the main reasons you're not supposed to say these things is because actually the Matrix is a very powerful weapon. And the weapon they're using to destroy masculinity, which is what they fear, because they have to remove the warriors of society before they enslave us all. This is what they do. The Romans used to turn up into Greek camp, kill all the military-age men, just chop all their heads off, because that's going to be a revolution sooner or later. Nowadays, they can't kill us all, so they try and neuter us and turn us into eunuchs mentally. The easiest way to destroy masculinity is to promote femininity in the completely wrong way. Not promote femininity as a man is good at certain things, a woman is good at certain things. We make the perfect team. We're the perfect pair of a woman's feminine and a man's masculine, which is the truth. Instead, what they do is say, women are better than men at everything. Femininity is a better version of masculinity. So we have this weird, strange, three-phase garbage society where women are better than men at everything.
Yo, what's up? How you
While
doing?
also are equal, even though they need DEI.
How you doing,
While
Mac?
also children, and every decision they make, they were tricked into if they didn't want to do it because a man made them do it. You know, so a woman's a girl boss, and she's a girl boss, and she's better than you, but she needs help to get the job. And then if you sleep with her and don't buy her a handbag, you raped her because she changed her mind. So how the fuck? It's impossible because none of this, you can't have all three at once. And they built this on purpose and put it out into Western society. So as soon as a man gets big, they attack him with what? Women, femininity. They use this whole, women are the attack vector of Satan now, because there's not a single man out there who has the balls to tell the truth who ain't fucked. So all they have to do is just get a phone, call 100 women who you've ever slept with, call 100 of them, and find one bitch. One. With me, they couldn't even find one. That's why they really hate me, because they keep trying. But most people, they find one. Russell Brand, they found someone. Trump, they found someone. Hegseth, they found someone. Matt Gaetz, they found someone. Julian Assange, they found someone. You go to the fucking list. And all these betas and soy boys, these simps at home, continue to lap it up. Oh, A woman. They found a woman from 1981 because they're fucking gay. And because, literally.
Yeah.
And the simps and soy boys kind of fucking help them out. You know, like, if men could just stick together for 5 seconds and respect due process, we'd be all right. All of this would go away. But there's such a huge contingent of the men. And when I say men, I don't mean masculine men. I mean the feminine men who betray their own sex instantly and utterly when these accusations come out. Like if tomorrow you guys caught a case and they said, this girl said this, I'd say, listen, I've been around enough women to know women fucking lie.
Oh, yeah.
Women lie.
Yeah.
And not only do women lie, women lie. The reason women lie so much is because they don't even believe they're lying.
Yeah. They rationalize and make it seem like it's reality.
They believe it's true.
Yeah.
A woman will crash a car into a tree.
Yeah.
No other cars around. She crashes into a tree.
Yeah.
Why'd you hit that tree? Well, it wasn't my fault. Why? It was raining and it was dark. You knew that when you got in the car.
Yeah.
Everyone else driving in the rain, the dark, and they didn't hit the tree.
Right.
Why did you hit the tree? Yeah, but it was raining and it's dark, and it's the first time I've driven the car, so... Yeah, but, okay, whose fault is this? The tree's? That tree's been there for 150 fucking years.
Yeah.
Never been hit before.
Yeah.
The car has driven up and down that road 10,000 times and never been crashed. Who do we blame? Well, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. That's the female mind. They're not responsible for anything ever because they're down here. Now, if you ask that same woman 2 weeks later after she hit the tree, you'd be like, I got a Ferrari. You want to drive it? Yeah, I want to drive it. Are you a good driver? I'm a great driver. True or false?
True.
Because she's a girl boss now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's a girl boss after crashing, and we just perpetuate and support this behavior from females. And the reason it is done, it's not done. You could argue it's done organically because the human species needs to prioritize females because that's how we reproduced, right? If we had 100 men and 100 women, you could go and you went to war. The reason the men went to war is because if 95 of those men died, but they won the war, those 5 men with the 100 women,
We'll have a lot of fun.
well, we could reproduce. We could get the tribe back.
Yeah.
The real G's could get it done.
Yeah.
You know, Elon, me, that we get enough babies.
Don't forget us.
But if 95 of the women die and you have 5 women, 100 dudes, I mean, it's gonna be a fucking wild ride for those chicks. But you're not gonna have enough babies to reproduce for the clan. So humanity has always prioritized female life. Hence them get off the Titanic. So there's that side of it. But that's been weaponized now, and now it's very consciously done. It's not an accident. This 3-phase girl femininity crap is how they destroy masculinity, is how they destroy men. And that's why when they say I hate women, I don't hate women. I'm just ultra realistic about what a man can do and what a woman can do.
Right.
I don't hate women at all. If someone breaks into my house, I'm going to stand up and fight. I'm going to risk my life to protect my woman because I don't think she can fight.
Right.
But of course, when I say women can't fight, I'm a misogynist and I'm terrible. How am I a misogynist if I'm fucking dying for her?
Yeah. Right.
It's a psyop and it's a media spin.
Yeah,
but it's bullshit and people fall for it all of the time. And it's the traitors and the treachery within the masculine team. Men who sit there and go, oh, a woman said, well, you haven't been around enough women to know women fucking lie. Women fucking
I
lie,
learned that
bro.
when I was 19.
Literally.
She called the cops on me. I was in San Diego. I was in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
She said, I'm going to tell the cops you hit me. And then she just starts screaming, ah, ah, ah. And then the next door neighbor, what's going on? He hit me. They call the cops.
Bro, exactly.
Yeah.
Literally exactly. So it's like men who have never been around women and put them on a pedestal and idolize them seem to think they're these perfect creatures, which is why you can never trust a motherfucker who can't get laid.
They don't have any women, though, those type of men.
Of course they don't.
Right.
And they've never been around them.
Right.
Which is why one of my litmus tests for my circle as a whole, if I see a guy who's struggling with bitches, I don't talk to him. I'm like, oh, you're struggling to get women, or you're always crying over some bitch. You're always sad about women.
Yeah.
You know, you're a traitor. You're gonna betray me.
Pathetic.
No, I'm telling you.
No, I totally get it.
The guy who's crying over some bitch, when she finally calls him, goes, I'll take you back, but I don't want you hanging around with Andrew anymore because there's too many girls around him. He'll be like, oh, okay, babe, love you. Like, you can't trust those motherfuckers. As soon as I find a guy who's bad with women, I don't trust him.
Right.
I've been in business meetings before where a guy is like fucking, oh yeah, the wife, complaining about his wife here and there. I guess he thought he was building rapport and being cool. I was sitting there, you want 10 grand of my, you want 10 M of my money? You can't control a woman? You can't tell your woman to shut up and make dinner while you're out getting fucking paid? And you want my money?
Yeah.
No, sir, rejected. If you have any kind of problems with women in your life and you can't control them, get rid of it. I don't want you near me because those are problems by proxy. They end up on my plate somehow. All of a sudden now my business partner's not coming to work because his bitch is fucking his neighbor. I don't need that shit.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously women are trouble. Of course they are. But you have to just be man enough to say, sorry, dear, I loved you very much, but you're annoying.
Right.
See you never. Bye.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
Yeah, I think I learned that early on when I first started dating. I was trying to make my woman happy, so I was being a simp.
Yeah.
But after a while, I was living through her instead of her living through me.
Yep.
And I became a bitch.
Yep.
And I noticed how her whole outlet towards me changed.
Damn.
And then I was like, you know what? I had enough of this shit. I'm gonna be who I am instead of trying to make you happy. You're gonna be your happiness comes through me.
It's really
not the other way
interesting.
around.
And it's really interesting when you say living through her, because the feminine imperative is to build a nest and have some children maybe, or show off on Instagram, etc. But the feminine imperative is never to go out there and fight for freedom. It's never to risk your life. It's never to stand up and do amazing things. Like if you actually look at the masculine imperative, we're the ones who explored the world. Why?
Right.
Why did we go on a boat and go to the other end of the planet and die most of the time? Why do we trek across Antarctica? Why do we build the largest skyscrapers? Why do we take the biggest risks? Every single thing you drive past in Las Vegas and every other city was built by men. All of it. We did all of it. That's the masculine imperative. So a female living through us, empowering us, is good for society as a whole, because we do amazing things. A woman's world is much smaller. She cares about herself. Biologically, she's a lot more selfish. She cares about herself and her offspring. That's her superpower. That's good. But if you're going to allow yourself to live through her, you're not going to achieve anything amazing. You can't. Because you're too busy sitting at home having date night every fucking night of the week, checking on her every 20 minutes. Are you okay, babe? You seem upset. Fuck that shit, bro. It's gay.
Yeah.
Fuck that, bro. It's gay.
Yeah.
You see this Elon stuff that just happened on Twitter with his baby mama?
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Bro, he's black. Get him in here.
Yeah.
He's as black as they come. And all these conservatives are trying to give him a hard time. I don't know if you saw I did a half an hour breakdown. I did a video of it, but I said, my guy's putting fucking rockets in space. You think he has time to sit around holding hands with some fucking chick and date night and fucking eating popcorn?
Yeah.
Watching fucking Twilight? No.
My wife was, let's watch. I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah. I'm playing Diablo, bitch. Get out of here. No. He makes the baby. The baby's done. Okay, the baby exists. Mission complete.
Yeah.
Back to SpaceX.
Right.
And she's like, he didn't even text me on Valentine's. He's the busiest, most famous. He's the richest man in the world. The hubris this female's operating under. Of course, you're not that interesting. You're not more interesting than rocket science, because you're not as complicated as rocket science. You're really not.
Right.
So a certain echelon of achievement as a man also, yeah, you have relationships with females, but they're pretty driven by reproduction, and they're pretty just like, okay, we have a kid, I take care of you, I take care of the kid, that's fantastic, I love my kid, I love you, okay, that's great, see you later, I'm out, I got shit to do. If you sit there and live through a female, then you can't achieve amazing things. You live through a female, how do you run SpaceX? How do you run Tesla? How do you do anything?
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. Like I love my wife, but when we started doing YouTube almost like, how many years ago? Like 15, 16 years ago?
2008, I think we
Wow.
started.
She would always tell me, "Why don't you go get a real job?" If I'd have listened to her, I would have never achieved what I achieved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and
hear
female
that
love is
shit.
powerful. Like
Yeah.
you can be protected by female love, but also female love is the easiest way they try and protect you is hold you back from things. That's what they do all the time. They try and hold you back, and if you let them, then you're never going to achieve much.
Yeah, I had women leave me because I was too close to my brother,
Bro,
which is crazy.
it's not crazy, because me and Tristan get the same thing. Because me and Tristan live together.
Yeah,
Still,
yeah, yeah.
we live together.
They get jealous of your brother, right?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Because we've seen it, because we're twins, we're really fucking close.
Yeah, yeah.
Women get jealous over our relationship.
Because they want to be they want to have what a woman wants is absolute emotional control over you. Because if she can emotionally control you, then she feels safer. You'll ask yourself, why does a woman always start a fight before you go out to the club? Well, the reason is not because she gives a shit you're going to the club. It's because she knows if you're in a bad mood, you haven't got any game.
Right.
If you're pissed off, you haven't got any sauce. She doesn't want you smiling in the club, having a great time, because then you might get a bitch. But if you're in there like, fucking this fucking bitch, texting,
Texting you the whole time.
texting,
Yeah.
that's what she wants. That's why you can't win the argument, because it's not about the argument. She's trying to take your sauce away. She wants emotional control over you. But if you're close with your brother and she's trying that, and you're like, I'm with T now, so I don't give a fuck. She sees that as a threat over her ability to emotionally manipulate you. Which is what she wants to do to preserve herself. Of course, if she can do it too well, then you become boring. Then you're just a target that's been conquered. It's human nature. Like we talked earlier about explorers. Christopher Columbus, he came here and did whatever he did. When that was done, he's like, fuck it, let me go somewhere else. If a woman completely controls you head to toe and she's seen everything and she can wrap you up around her finger, you're boring. Then she wants the next land to conquer. That's how it is. So you've always got to be unconquerable. And that's another thing that blows these people's minds. All these fucking dipshits who are saying that I'm terrible to women and I abuse women and all this garbage. Mr. fucking convicted felon who sold me out, I guarantee I got more kids than you. I got more women who love me than you. I got more children than you. I got a better relationship with women than you do. I guarantee you argue with your wife more than I argue with my wives ever.
How many wives you got?
Enough. to bake the bread. So, like, where's this bullshit about me being bad to women?
Yeah, right.
If I'm so terrible, why all these women love me?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they'll answer, well, because of money. So you're saying they're sex workers? Let me get the tweet up. You're saying women are just sex workers because I'm rich? Is that what you're saying? That sounds awfully misogynistic.
Right.
You know, it sounds misogynistic.
Yeah.
Then they'll come along and say stupid shit like, oh, yeah, but you tricked them. Bro, imagine this world, bro. Yeah. They really are going to go out here and allow women to have the same roles as us in society, girl boss us all over culture. In every movie, women are beating up men, and the dad's the idiot, and the mom's the smart one. They're going to girl boss us the whole way. Yeah. But if a girl does anything ever that anybody doesn't like ever, she was tricked.
Yeah.
If women
I can show you a perfect culture that illustrates that. Black culture.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The women, they're just unbearable. I don't date them. And that's why you see a lot of black men not dating black women.
Yeah.
Because the black woman is the man of the relationship.
Yep.
That's why no one wants to be
the
with
one that called the cops and she was a black chick.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I
That's
don't know
what
too much.
society
I
would
don't know.
look like.
I don't know too much about the black women in America because I haven't been here in a long time.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen online,
Yeah.
you always see a clip of like some Texan woman like beating the shit out of some poor Chinese girl. Like you're like, what the fuck? How did this even happen?
They're very masculine in America.
Yeah.
It's
They're
like they
not
have a
feminine
chip
at all.
on the shoulder, or I think a lot of them just feel they're less than.
Yeah. Not all black women, but it's a
good majority.
It's a good majority of them. Black women, they act like men.
Well, we can apply this to things because I mean, even if we remove the races and we just remove into the we say women are sex workers, which of course is going to get me in trouble, but we apply it to the number one thing females are judged on, which is how they look, their appearance, their sexual.
Yeah, not the mind.
No, they're judged on how they look and how attractive they are.
Right.
All the hotties I ever meet love me.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful women love me. They think I'm fucking hilarious. And they're like, he's rich and he's fucking funny. I'll have his kid. No problem. All the baddies love me. Yeah. If a woman going to leave a negative comment about me, I look at her profile picture. I'm like, bitch.
I wouldn't waste a drop of semen.
It's kind of like, and it's interesting because in the world we live in, you only get an opinion as a man if you're like big and important or strong or rich, or we have to earn our importance through certain things. But like hot women can say something. A hot woman can stand up and say, I really care about the animals. And we'll all stand up and go, oh, we really care about the animals because she's got big tits, whatever.
Yeah.
But these ugly bitches, no one gives a fuck what you say. I mean, I know you have a Twitter account, but no one gives a fuck what you say. Right. So a lot of this shit is just, no one gives a fuck. You ever given a fuck about ugly bitch?
Perfect case in point. Look at ESPN. All the women there, a majority that are hosting with the men, they're beautiful.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
This is the reality, right? Yeah. So a lot of these things also, especially in my case, or the online hate, etc., a lot of it's just revenge of the nerds. A lot of it's just a bunch of fucking nerds and a bunch of ugly women sitting around, trolls in their fucking bedrooms, angry that I wanted life and they didn't. And they're just trying to take it out on me. Yeah. And it's a fucking setup. It's kind of funny. I had some guy once, he was obese and he was pure liberal, obese loser. Can't remember his name. And he was saying how dangerous I am to women. I was saying, if you literally thought of the idea of a sexual predator in your head, it would be him. Yeah. Like, why am I dangerous to women when I have options with women? Yeah. Why would I rape a woman when I can't get through my roster on a weekly basis anyway? When I'm trying to get them in and out the house as fast as humanly possible. The only thing I've ever done with women in my house is beg them to leave. Yeah, like, please, you've been here 3 hours. It's a busy day. Please go. And this motherfucker ain't been laid in forever. Yeah. Telling me that, who's the rapist here? Right. Who's the rapist?
Dude sitting at home busting nuts on himself.
Of course. Yeah, of course. And these are the bad guys. But they always accuse you of what they are.
He's not doing it at all. He's just doing it on himself.
Yeah, he's oh man, this bitch is hot. No, this is a good scene.
100%. So like these fucking people who are attacking us and attack people at the top, etc., they accuse you of what they are directly all of the time. And we're going to see how this all plays out, but I have a strong suspicion that the Florida, if I had to predict the future, which I'm pretty good at, because I was saying I was going to get arrested. I don't know if you saw my old podcast. I kept saying they're going to arrest me. You have 3 lives. I kept saying they're going to arrest me before they arrested me. Here's what I think is going to happen in Florida. I think they're going to get perp walk. I think they're going to come up with the biggest crock of shit. They're going to arrest me. They're going to walk me in front of the cameras. They're going to make it wall-to-wall news. I'm going to walk around handcuffs. I'm going to look guilty as fuck. You look guilty with handcuffs with police. I mean, the fuck you do. They're going to say all this shit. They're going to take me in for questioning. I have a strong suspicion they may not charge me because I have a feeling they haven't got enough to charge me with, but they might. They might charge me with some crap. And in the end, years from now, I'm going to walk it. And they're just going to waste 2 more years of my life, 2 more years of my reputation. You know, it's kind of, you have to see everything in the world as a blessing from God. It's the only way to see it. Because if you didn't see it as a blessing from God, it's pretty fucking hard to deal with. You have to see the positives of all these things, because once I bust it, then I'm going to have another accolade of innocence, and I'm going to be more well-known and more famous than I ever was, and that's fantastic, and I'll find a way to make all my money back. Great. But the next 2-3 years are going to be rocky. It's going to be rocky dealing with this shit. But what can you do? You just have to approach it like a man. One of the main things I think they're trying to achieve with me throughout this 3 or 4 year process, I've had a lot of people come to me from America, from Britain, some billionaires from Germany, loads of big Romanians, because Romania is not poor like people think. Big money in Romania, mafia money. Like, there's money everywhere. And everyone comes to me and they go, why don't you just change your persona online? Why don't you just, what they want me to do is say sorry. What they want to do is say, look, Andrew is the top G, Mr. fucking tough guy. Look, we got him with the system. And look, he said sorry. Look, I'll tell you something. I actually am a fan of his, and this is not shade in any way. What was his name? Byron Donalds?
Yeah.
Next day, he put out his apology. I don't know if you saw it. Put out his sorry. That's what they want. They want the sorry. If I say sorry, this will go away, because then they'll always say, he ain't shit. Look, he bent. He bent. He broke.
Yeah, dude, if you say sorry, I'm transitioning.
Well, that's
I'm putting on a dress lipstick. I'm going to be the biggest fag out there.
But that's the thing. They know I won't.
Yeah.
But that's what they want.
Yeah.
Because what they're trying to do is break the symbol of resistance, which has ended up being me. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. I just ended up in this position. I'm the symbol of resistance against enslavement from the Matrix. So, like, if we get this motherfucker to say sorry and act like he's broken in some way, if we finally break him down, everyone's going to know, and they're going to shut up when the heat starts coming. But with me, they can't get me to say sorry. That's why they're so frustrated. That every single time you see a video of me and Tristan, we are laughing. And we are joking, and we're saying, do it, put us in jail, I miss jail, da-da-da. Like, they can't stand that we have fun all the time.
Right.
Tristan said to me this morning, he's like, fucking DAs are after us, we're in a Vegas suite, we're the fucking mob. I was like, mob, we don't do anything. He goes, yeah, but it's cool. I'm like, well, yeah, that's what they hate. They hate that we won't say sorry.
What religion you practice?
That's a good question. I'm a Muslim, my brother is Christian.
You think that has something to do with it? Because that's beautiful. He's Christian, you're Muslim. Why is there so much of a disconnect between Christians and Muslims? I never got that.
Crazy.
Fox News.
Yeah.
That's who demonized the Muslims.
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it, especially like 9/11, and they put a huge spin on it. There's also a huge disconnect where people assume or they attribute Islam to the third world. So like a third worlder will do something and they'll say, see, these Muslims, etc. But if you let in a third worlder from anywhere, he'll do something. You can let in a third worlder from Guatemala or the Central African Republic. They're not Islamic and they can commit a crime. Especially in Europe, we have this problem as well. So,
Haiti. Haiti's enough.
Haiti, exactly. Candace said to me, who I'm a huge fan of, I truly think she's amazing in the work she does, but she said to me, she said, she said on October 9th, when I defended Palestine to Piers Morgan, that's when all the conservatives turned on me.
Ooh,
she said she said viscerally, I saw it the same day you defended Palestine. It's the day they all came for me.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, maybe it is that. Perhaps they do have some
there's
power.
a drop in our views too, since we've been criticizing.
Oh yeah, they'll just start to slowly shadow ban you and they'll come after you, etc. But the thing that's also annoying, and I said this as well, but I'm going to say it again, because if you're an intelligent person, you understand that everything is nuanced. There's nuance everywhere, right? But you can't have nuanced arguments. Ian Carroll just went on Joe Rogan and spoke about a lot of the issues that, that are happening in the world today. And he's still getting called a Zionist agent.
Yeah.
And Mossad. I get called Mossad. Have you guys been called Mossad yet?
No, just straight Jew haters.
All right. Well, you're doing good. Because I've had that team turn on me.
Right.
Yeah. Because you're never based enough for the Anon account on Twitter who has nothing to lose, right?
Right.
So you can mention certain things, you can bring certain things up, but if you're not 1,000% mentioning it all the time, or it's all you talk about, then they turn on you and call you a Mossad agent. So supposedly I work for the Jews now, funnily enough, even though I literally risked my life defending Palestine on Piers Morgan and got in a whole bunch of trouble for it. But then they asked me something else, and I must not have answered the way they wanted, and then they went crazy. So there's not very much nuance in these arguments either, which causes a huge problem and a disconnect because, yes, I agree there's a huge problem with Israeli influence over the American government. I agree.
Zionism.
There is a huge problem with it. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But when
I think our conservatives and Republicans, we are pro-life Christian.
Yep.
What's happening in Gaza is not pro-life and it's definitely not Christian.
Absolutely.
I don't know why we're in bed with Israel and then we fund that war. They call it a war, but those people don't have weapons.
Yep.
They don't have an army.
Yep.
I mean, they have some weapons. I mean, it's like a little posse.
It's not a fair fight.
Yeah, it's not a fair fight at all.
Yeah.
It's not a fair fight.
When I look at the drone footage, it looks apocalyptic.
It truly looks apocalyptic and it's extremely sad. And also, I find it amazing that Like if you're a nationalist or you're a conservative and you believe in the rights to your land and you believe in America being America, and you want to protect your land, then you should understand that other people want to protect their land.
Exactly. We push back on illegal immigration.
Yep.
What's going on in Israel?
Yeah, but they say Palestine never existed. That's why I hear all the time on social media, especially on Instagram from conservatives. That place never existed.
Yeah, they're ignorant to it all, and it's a long and complicated history. But even if you don't want to go down the entire history of Palestine, Israel, this is what I was saying to Piers, because he doesn't even let you fucking talk. I was like, I haven't got time to explain history to you, but exactly like you said, this is clearly a genocide. What's happening is clearly completely inhuman. Right. Forget religion, forget any of these things. It's inhuman what they're doing to these people. Yeah. It's unacceptable what they're doing to these people. And it's also the media spin they put on it tells you a lot, because when Hamas try and fight back, it's a terror attack and it's barbaric. And when Israel fight back, it's a tactical strike.
Right.
Oh, tactical strike. That actually almost sounds like it's okay. Yeah. Have you ever seen the result of a tactical strike? Because all I see is
drone footage.
Yeah, I see buildings crushing children when we call it a tactical fucking strike. So again, it's all about the language they use and how they frame everything.
Right.
It's truly incredible. And
did you see that video that Trump posted? Can you pull up that video?
He put up an AI meme of Trump's Gaza.
Yeah, like Trump's stance on Gaza, like turned into like this oasis for the Jews. I was like, dude, that is tone deaf. He put this up on, I think it's,
I've seen it, yeah.
Donald is coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza
this is trans, right?
Golden future, a brand new life. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, #1.
But hasn't Trump stopped a lot of the killing, would you argue? I think it's a lot calmer now than it was before Trump. So maybe I'm wrong, you know. Maybe this is why they call me a fucking Mossad agent now. But I give Trump the benefit of the doubt that at least he stopped the killing for now. At least that's stage one, right? It's everything's incremental. Is Gaza ever going to look like that? Fuck no. We all know that's never going to happen. Yeah. But he stopped the killing at least at the beginning, which I think is the best thing.
Yeah.
If Kamala had won, which you would argue was supposed to be the left and the pro-Palestine, etc., the killing would still be going on. Because Kamala, there's no way Kamala would stand up against the deep state and the warmongers, which is another thing, which is going to get me in trouble, but we're going to talk about it. We talk about females.
Yeah.
Why I don't believe women should be in leadership positions in most cases is because I don't believe women are competent enough to lead, because I don't believe women are brave enough to put themselves on the line. If when Trump gets the call and they say, do this or we're going to shoot at you, and he ignores them and they shoot at him, that's a leader. If Kamala got that call, you think she's going to risk taking a bullet? Fuck no. So you can't even put women in positions of power, because they'll always bend and break to the shadow power that we don't even know exists. When they call her phone and they start telling her address and telling her what they need, she's going to do whatever.
Yeah, a dude ran on stage with Kamala and just took the microphone from her. She just gave it to him.
Yeah,
she looked
leader
so
of the free world.
Yeah,
exactly. So what's interesting is all the left and all the liberals and all the pro-Palestine guys, which even though I'm completely right and conservative, somehow you align with the left on that issue. They wanted Kamala to win because they thought that Gaza would have been in a better position. But I would argue right now, if Kamala won, that Gaza would still be killing and Israel would still be killing. She wouldn't have done a fucking thing. So at least Trump stopped it. Is that video tone deaf? Yes. But then also, again, I'm a benefit of the doubt guy. I kind of am a benefit of the doubt guy. I kind of think, you know, Trump's doing amazing things. He's doing his best. Isn't it possible that, like, Trump, busy, he's on Air Force One, he's 78, and one of his aides go, hey, we've got a video of the new Gaza. It's going to be like a resort. We're going to put it up on your Twitter. Yeah. And he's, you know, like, maybe, you know, maybe. Did he design it frame for frame?
Right.
Well, probably not. I don't know. Is it tone deaf? Yes. But I'm just glad the babies have stopped dying, because those videos were truly fucking heartbreaking. Right. Truly heartbreaking. Back then, when that stuff was, when that stuff was going on, there was a cloud of darkness in the air. I couldn't smile for a while. It was truly sad what was happening, and the world is a fucked up place. Like, it's amazing also how we go through life, especially us in the Western world, and we're so largely disconnected from violence. We forget how fucked up the world actually is, because violence is actually the only underpinning of anything. Violence is why anything works. The reason any of the laws we have out here work is because if you don't obey them, you get a ticket. If you don't pay the ticket, you go to court. If you don't go to court, police come. If you don't obey the police, they get violent. So we've just managed to put all these layers on top of violence that makes people to comply with complicated systems. But in other countries where they don't have the time, the energy, the effort, or the resource, or the organization to put all these complicated systems on top, it's straight to the bottom line, which is violence, right? You go to Afghanistan, no, they don't give you a ticket. They wave an AK. Now, really, is that any different? Let's actually analyze. Is getting a policeman's ticket any different than having an AK waved? Not really. There's just a few layers of separation, so you haven't got to witness it, you know? And we get to sit and say, oh, our society is not violence. We live in a civilized society. No, violence is the underpinning of everything, everywhere.
Look at our new giveaway. Ford Raptor. Look at that. Avalanche Gray. 37-inch top.
But yeah, so I'm gonna stop right here for a minute. But yeah, like, yeah, but Andrew Tate, though, they've been fucking trying to stop this man for like forever. They don't want this man to be free at all. Especially, you know, him being the one actually exposing everybody. It's not even just one group of people. It's not any of that. It's like everybody. So man really actually is on the shit. They really do want us to be they really want us to be like be pretty much feminine, and they want us to be estrogen filled. They want us to not be men, so they want us to be hella feminine. So they're like, yeah, you know, the more we can make these men more feminine, the more we can dominate, you know, men overall, so they can be able to have their stance on, you know, society. So I believe in that shit for sure. Like that shit is like facts 100%. But I'm gonna keep it going right here, but I'm gonna skip ahead because you know they got their commercial and shit. But yeah, support the HodgeTwins though, definitely.
Andrew, what's that beef between you and Ben Shapiro?
Oh, there's no beef with me and Ben. There's no beef with me and Ben. I don't think he's a particularly good person. I think he's a warmonger. Yeah. It's never ending.
Especially if you support what's going on in Gaza right
now. Oh, yeah. His stances on Gaza were unforgivable. He is currently going broke because he lost Candace and he lost Brett Cooper, and now the Daily Wire is going into...
Did he say
I know.
Did he say Candace? Hold on, I gotta go back. Hold on.
His stances on Gaza were unforgivable. He is currently going broke because he lost Candace and he lost Brett Cooper, and now the Daily Wire is going into... I've heard from many sources they're about to go into administration, and
it's not that hard to say Candace. I'm just saying, bro. Like, all right.
The problems with Peterson, even Peterson and him are about to get in a legal battle.
Oh wow.
Daily Wire,
really?
Yeah. Daily Wire is completely fucked. They're completely bankrupt.
It all started with Candace.
Yeah, of course. You can't get rid of her. Yeah. She was their star. Mm-hmm. And then who's the owner of the Daily Wire? He's a really interesting person. Yeah. What's his name?
Jeremy Boring.
Yeah, Mr. Boring. I'm going to start a media company.
Right.
Well, Mr. Boring's media company. It's going to be a success. So you got that dipshit. I think Ben's a bad person. He was super pro-vaccine, which I was ultimately against. He was
against Trump, too.
He was against Trump, and he's also a warmonger. You know, I guess it's just somebody. I mean, I've had 87 professional fights. I've done my whole fighting my whole life. I finished retiring from fighting, and now I'm fighting against governments all across the world. I've done all of my fighting myself. And when I see somebody sitting behind a desk with a microphone calling for other people to go fight, when he's too much of a pussy to ever fight himself, I intrinsically just don't like him.
Yeah, didn't he vote for Hillary, too?
Oh, yeah. Fuck, he's a dipshit.
Yeah.
And he's constantly calling for men twice his size to go and die. You go.
Yeah.
You go fight. But of course, what do we say about short people? What do we say? He's a snake. He's a fucking snake. So I don't trust him.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. And I also think that
it sounds like y'all got a beef.
For real.
I mean, Ben was one of the main people that brought me over to conservatism. Him, I'm having a brain fart. I'm having
Candace Owens, Larry Elder.
Yeah, Larry Elder. Yeah.
Well, the thing is with Ben, like he had a lot of videos that used to go viral where he'd destroy the trannies and stuff, and that was cool. But and somebody said to me, like, oh, you agree on that? Like, who doesn't agree that men shouldn't chop their dicks off? Like, fucking, I can go down to the convenience store, find a motherfucker who agrees with that. Everyone already agrees on that. But the actual important issues, it seems he's wrong every fucking time.
Yeah. And you would think he, like I see him doing videos like criticizing the LGBTQ community, trans community, but in his religion, they embrace that.
The Talmud is supposed to have 8 genders, isn't it?
Exactly. So why are you on YouTube and TikTok and doing all these videos criticizing, going viral for speaking out against these people when your religion embraces it?
Well, even then, even from a personal perspective, he has a huge problem with me because 12 years ago, I used to have a webcam studio, which I've talked about at length and explained at length, and I'll talk about again anytime because it's my history, and I'm not apologizing for anything I've ever done ever. While he's still getting paid from APAC, which takes money from OnlyFans today.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, he pretends he gives a shit about these things, but he's actually just super hypocritical. And I just don't like hypocrites. I don't like people who are warmongering. After October 7th, when he was saying, destroy them all, kill them all, annihilate every single one, I tweeted underneath him, like, bro, let's at least look for peace, at least.
Right.
It's just a mark of a coward. Like, it's kind of like they say, why do pro fighters not get in street fights? Because we've seen how bad fights can go.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you've never had a fight, you think you're a tough guy because you don't know how bad fights can be.
Right.
So he's one of them, right? He's one of them who's never seen violence, never been around it, would never go near it, would piss his pants if he ever had to. Total coward, trying to talk like a tough guy, calling for violence. If he'd ever seen any, he'd know better. But he's not educated to it. So I just think he's a negative voice in the world who's calling for death and destruction. And thank fuck his voice is going broke. And him and Mr. Boring are about to lose the Daily Wire. I don't know. Like, travel America, try and find somebody who's giving them money right now. You must be out your fucking mind. Who gives a shit what they say? You can't pay me to watch their shit. I don't even know what he says anymore. The last time I spoke to him was about October 7th.
Have you seen his opinions on Derek Chauvin that Trump should
Pardon him?
pardon him?
I have no idea what Ben's saying. No.
Yeah, he's making an argument that he didn't receive a fair trial because of the publicity of the trial and all that. He said Trump should.
He's
pardon
trying
him.
to galvanize the conservatives behind him. That's all. That's just a pull on his.
Well, I was about to say, I agree with that point. Is he trying to repair his reputation? Fuck yes, because his reputation's in the trash. His reputation's over. I mean, I'm an accused human trafficker. My reputation's 10 times his. So the fucking, you fucked up.
He should start trafficking women.
Yeah, she's getting business. So he's trying to galvanize it. That's an interesting argument. It's a pretty fair point. You would argue when we talked about earlier how at a certain level of law it's simply just a circus, and people have to sit and make decisions. Is this one individual's liberty worth the breakdown of society as we know it? Because the argument was if Derek would have walked, there would have been complete chaos.
Yes,
and us in America, or not even the UK anymore. The UK's gone communist. Let's say only America, where we value individual liberty and freedom above all things. It's mind-bending to us that we'll sacrifice people to the horde or sacrifice people to the mob. But most countries actually do this. Most countries, their approach to law and order is very systemic, and the reason we have a judicial system is to keep the public and to keep our society functioning. That's what it's for.
Right.
We don't give a shit who's innocent and who's guilty. We give a shit about people believing in the system, fearing the system, and obeying the system.
Right.
So if we have somebody here who may perhaps be innocent, but if they walk, it damages the system and the beliefs in the system, that person's liberty isn't worth it. The ant farm's worth more than the ant, so fuck them. They're going to jail anyway. Most countries are like that. I'll give you a perfect example, and I'm not talking about third world countries. Japan, when I got out of jail, I did a whole fucking jail tour on YouTube. I was like, where else am I going to end up going to jail? Woo! Let me work it out. Yeah. And it turns out I was actually in the worst fucking jail. It's like Russia. As long as I don't go to Russia, I've done the worst jail you can do.
Yeah.
But Japan has a 99% conviction rate. Is that because they have fantastic prosecutors and judges? No, it's because if you go to court in Japan, you're fucked. And that's because they don't care about innocent and guilty. They're like, the public think he may have done it. There's people who saw. There's enough smoke. People believe it's him, and we want everybody to fear the law, and we want everybody to believe that we keep the public safe. So he's toast.
Yeah.
You're going to jail forever. Bye. Yeah. They don't care about innocent. And there's a whole bunch of cases of people who've been to jail in Japan who are completely innocent. And America's the same. America sat there. The Matrix sat down and thought, if we give this guy a fair trial and he walks, this is going to damage the fabric of society. Is this one person's individual liberty worth more than the fabric of society? Yeah. And what's interesting is this. Here's the interesting argument. Most people, even Americans, agree with that. If you were to put out a tweet and say, if somebody is suspected of being a pedo, should they go to jail? Everyone would go, yeah. Suspected of. Not convicted, not proved to be. Suspected of. People are perfectly happy to have this mob justice if you can convince them to, as long as it's not them. When you end up on the other side of the system, then you're like, what the fuck? Because Romania is the same. Romanian judicial system is, because Romania is a very safe place. It's actually beautiful. You can walk, I walk around with $1 million watch. I drove a $5 million Bugatti. I parked it on the fucking street. Girls walk alone at night. It's one of the most Christian countries in the world. It's ridiculously safe. You're not going to have any kind of violence in Romania. You go out, you get drunk, you fucking stumble. Nothing's going to happen. Very safe place. Why? Because if they even sniff you've done anything, jail. They don't care. Right. That's how they do it. A bunch of innocent people in jail. They don't care. Society's safe. So yeah, did Derek get sacrificed to the mob? Fuck yes. Yeah. Is that normal? Actually, globally, very normal.
Yeah, my whole issue with Derek Chauvin, I think my position on it is this. Like, why did the paramedic show up? The police called him because he was overdosing. He couldn't breathe. He was saying that out loud. I couldn't breathe. I think what got Derek Chauvin convicted was you got him on his stomach, and it looks like you're smothering him to death.
Yep.
He should have just, and he was already handcuffed. So Derek Chauvin did that to himself. He should have just set him up and had him sitting down, handcuffed like this.
Agreed.
Let him die for the whole world to see.
Agreed.
But you didn't. So you actually screwed yourself.
Agree. 100% agree. And are cops dickheads? Yes.
Yeah.
Are some, like, if you have enough people in any group, some are dickheads. Some cops are dickheads. Some farmers are dickheads. You know, like that's life. So is he completely 100% innocent? No. Is he a murderer? I wouldn't say he's a murderer either.
Right.
Was he sacrificed to the mob for the greater good?
Yes.
100% yes. That was a pre-gone conclusion in a show trial, which we all know. And the whole idea of America is this individual liberty and this idea that this doesn't happen to us here because it happens in most other places. In most other places, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think what it helped get him off too is black fatigue. People are tired of black people. Every time you look up, some Negroes arguing about something.
Well, you know,
Derek Penny, that whole situation.
Oh yeah, that was incredible. That was incredible, and it's. I'll be honest. One of the things that's amazing to me because I am American. I lived here till I was 8, and then I grew up in England, and then I moved all around the world. What's kind of amazing to me about the American consciousness is that they have this huge preposition with racism, and they seem to think this is a racist country. Like you motherfuckers haven't been anywhere.
Yeah.
Because this is the least racist nation on the planet. You think America's racist? Let me tell you where's racist. You know the most racist place? Africa.
Oh, yeah.
You ever been to Africa? You Hutu, you're Tutu, you're Boo-Boo. Like, they're fucking killing each other, having genocide. They all look the fucking same. They're pulling out machetes. Look at the Rwandan genocide. I couldn't even tell the two teams. They're running around fucking swinging blades. Bro, the whole world's fucking racist.
Killing each other over nothing.
Over nothing. Hutu, Tutu, your nose shape.
They
I don't know
got
the fuck.
huge continent. You got all these black people. You got all these resources.
All they do is kill.
And they're probably the poorest continent in the world.
Of course.
They have no leadership, and that culture is just broken.
100%. And also, it's because Africa's rich that it's poor, which we'll talk about in a second. But America's the least racist place you find on the planet. You think China's not racist? You think Japan's not fucking racist? You think India's not racist with its caste system? You think Africa's not racist with its fucking genocides? Everywhere, even when I moved to England, the amount of racism I dealt with for being American. Like, I was American. They're like, oh, yank, oh, dickhead, school shooter. But it's like, watch out. But the thing is, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But these people can't take a fucking joke. Like, I love when people, I have the most diverse friend group, and our friendships are based on racism. Like, it's funny. It's funny. Like, I know a white guy. Who's loyal. Fucking weird. But like, we make fun of each other all the time. Like, racism is hilarious amongst a friend group. But in America, everyone's so sensitive to it. It's insane, and they believe they live in a racist country. It's like, you need to go basically anywhere else. Go anywhere else, and you will see. And what's interesting is actually the countries like Dubai, which I spent a lot of time in, the UAE, which is a super diverse country with 80% immigration. But the locals, the natives, they're above you. You can't fuck with a Gulf Arab in UAE. You can come and you can visit and you can buy a nice house and you can live there and you can enjoy Dubai. But if you crash your car into an Arab, it was your fault. That's just how it is. Like, there's no way out of it, right? So the whole world's fucking racist except America. And these people are constantly and endlessly crying. It's like so ungrateful almost.
Well,
it's ungrateful.
I think most of it comes from the black community, though. I think that's what's keeping racism alive in this country.
And the white liberal is pushing it too, his own life support.
Well, I think everyone's tired of it now, but they're going to keep trying to push it because it allows them to feel important for 5 seconds. So they're going to keep trying to push it.
Andrew, do you consider yourself to be African American?
Well, there's times. I'm like the day walker. I swap in and out. It depends. You know. Like I had an auntie. She's black and she talks like a white woman until she gets mad. Then she's Jamaican. You ever had one of them?
Yeah, definitely.
That's like me. Depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm white. Sometimes I'm black. Depends what mood I'm in. But no, it's really interesting. And also, pattern recognition isn't racism. We need to make that very clear. Like if I think of a pedophile, I imagine a white man.
Yeah, right.
And if I think of gang shooting, I imagine a black man. Call me racist, but that's just what I imagine, right?
When I think of tacos, I think of Latinos.
Well, that's right. Yeah, 100%. Build the wall. So we got enough tacos. It's fine. We don't need any more. So
if I walk into a restaurant, a Latino restaurant, and I see a bunch of Asians making tacos, I'm walking right out.
100%. So racial stereotypes also exist for a reason, but now we're going to try and tell us that we have to ignore basic pattern recognition or it's racism. And this is the point that's difficult because I'll be completely honest with you. If I was Snow White and I was a police officer and I was in inner Chicago and it's 4 a.m. and I've stopped a Toyota Camry and there's 4 black guys in it. And my partner got killed 2 years ago because of a Toyota Camry with 4 black guys in it. And they're not complying. I'll be trigger happy. Now, to pretend he's not, that's pattern recognition.
Yeah,
That's pattern.
That's how you survive.
That's how you survive in the world.
Yeah.
The reason our ancestors survived is because we saw someone go try and pet the lion. Got eaten. We're like, there's a pattern here. You try. Oh, he died too. Okay, avoid the lion. Right. There's a pattern recognition. So what's interesting, what's so scary about this racism argument is it prevents people. I'll give you another example of this in a second, but it prevents people from acting appropriately, understanding that perhaps the world's not a perfect place. Perhaps it's never going to be fully balanced. So you need to understand when you are going to be deemed more of a threat. So if I was a completely black person in that Toyota Camry, I would say, this officer's intimidated guys. We would be on our best behavior.
Right.
Now, they'll sit and say, I shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to lock your door at night.
Yeah.
But you do. The world's not a perfect fucking place. There's no such thing as shouldn't have to. I'm a big man. If I go and knock, let's say my car breaks down, and I go knock on someone's door in the middle of the night, I know that I'm scary. If a little girl knocks, they may open it. I'm going to be more intimidating. I have to keep that in mind. I'm not going to be at the door like they're trying to flex. They're not going to fucking open it. You have to know the game you're playing.
Yeah, because white people, someone knocking on the door, they're like, I don't know this guy. This is probably a home invasion.
Yeah, exactly. You know? So what I'm saying is, and this get me in trouble, if you're a black person in the inner city and you understand how the inner city runs, when you're getting stopped by police, you should comply more than ever because you should understand perhaps it's unfair he has these preconceived notions. Perhaps it's unfair. Perhaps you're a great person. Perhaps, yes. But the world's not perfect. And thinking that the world is perfect and us trying to push this ideal version of the world where everyone ignores basic pattern recognition is bullshit and garbage. I'm more intimidated when I walk past 5 men. If I'm walking alone at night and there's 5 men on a street corner, I find that more scary than 5 women on a street corner. Am I sexist? No, that's fucking, I'm not a dumbass. I'm a realist. I'm a realist. So this racism's gone so far now that we're disrupting the ability for people to be realists. So they're expecting a little white woman to walk past 5 big Negroes in the middle of inner city Chicago and be like, don't be racist, Jane. Don't be racist, Jane. Don't be racist. Hi, fellas. Like, bro, you're gonna lose your handbag at least.
That doesn't bother me. Like if I'm getting to an elevator, this happened to us. We'll get in an elevator and it's just a white lady, and she'll just back in the corner and just like grab onto her purse. I'm like, I don't blame you.
100%. 100%.
I don't blame you at all.
But what's funny about it is they'll pretend that being intimidating is a terrible curse when it comes to something like a police stop, when they live their entire life trying to be as intimidating as possible.
Exactly.
You're standing a certain way, you're dressing a certain way, you're listening to certain music, you're fucking gangbanging. You want everyone to walk past you to know you're a real fucking G. You want everyone scared of you all the time. Except for when the cop gets scared and pulls his weapon, then it's like, whoa, what's the problem? You've been scaring people your whole fucking life. You've been intimidating people your whole life. You could have had a 3-piece suit on and a fucking little hat. You've been fine. No, you're wearing a fucking Crip bandana. Why do you think I was a gangster?
Like, talking in Ebonics.
Yeah, but it's bullshit. So all of this is done on purpose. This whole racism argument has gone way too far. As far as I know, black people and white people have basically the fair treat. I mean, the law applies to all of us. DEI actually gave black people a whole bunch of advantages over white people. So to sit here and believe that this is a racist country is completely ignorant. It's not a racist country. And you can succeed in this country if you, no matter what skin color you are, if you try your best and you conduct yourself the right way. And perhaps there'll be the odd scenario where you feel like you're being treated differently because of your skin color in a negative, but also you're not talking about all of the times you were treated in a positive because of your skin color. Perhaps because you're a big black man, you have problems in police stops, but you ain't got problems walking alone at night like a little white person does. So there's a bunch of times people were sitting there waiting to rob someone and goes, not him. So you had the pros and the cons. So you get the pros and the cons of these things.
That's life.
That's life. So
you gotta take advantage of the pros.
Exactly. And just to go back on my point, because I mentioned it earlier, and I just want to wrap it up. I said about how Africa's poor because it's rich. I watched a really interesting study. You should watch it. It was about what makes the perfect nation. Because I was trying to build the perfect country in my mind. Like, what would make the perfect nation? It was talking about if you started from zero, how would you have the richest, most prosperous, perfect country? And it said the countries with the best weather are countries like England and Netherlands, because you want it to be a little bit rainy. You want to be able to have agriculture, and you don't want people to have too much fun for free. Like in Thailand, they ain't got to be rich. They just go to the beach, get coconut. They're living good. In England, you got to have a Ferrari and a mansion. You're still depressed.
Right.
So you work very hard. You pay a lot of taxes. There's a whole bunch of things involved with it.
Thailand. That's
But it said that if you
I've been saying, bro, Thailand is the move. Like, even he said it, man. All you gotta do is just go over there and fucking get a coconut. You straight. Like, it really is that simple. But it's like, it's about being able to make that transition. That's where it gets hard when you do it from being in America and you trying to get right over to the other side. So yeah, it's gonna take time. So shit, I'm gonna try to get there too. Fuck it.
you have a complicated societal structure, natural resources makes your country richer. So like Norway is very rich. They have oil and a bunch of natural resources, but they have a complicated social structure. So they dig the oil up and that money goes to the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund, which goes into the stocks and bonds and the gold ETFs, and it's all tracked online, and they're a very rich country. Africa's super rich, but they don't have complicated systems. So what happens there is that they discover cobalt. The problem with natural resources is it doesn't require society to get the value of it. So if you have a country that builds jet engines, you now need factories, which takes workforce, which need houses, which need universities, which need schools, which need hospitals, which needs roads. So you have to build all this infrastructure around it to produce these jet engines. If you find cobalt, you just got to dig it up out of the ground. So Africa's problem is that it's so rich, they don't have these complicated structures. So what happens is they find cobalt, the dictator gets a deal from outside, usually the West, to get money into his pocket. They send a few soldiers and a few kids to go dig it up. They take all the cobalt out, it goes straight to the West. The dictator gets rich. None of the African people get rich. None of the African nation gets rich. They don't build anything, and the cobalt's gone. West is rich. Dictator goes to Dubai. Boom, done. So Africa's biggest problem is that it's actually so rich in resources that it's held back by how many things it has. If it didn't have any resources, they could build things and put it all together and start building jet engines, but they don't, because they're like, look, we found something interesting here. Dictator gets rich, few of the elites get rich, and the average person gets fucked. So it's kind of unfair. But that's the African
stupidity.
story.
I mean, do you think that's? I'm going to sound like a white supremacist when I say this.
I know what you're gonna say. Don't even say.
Do you think that's genetic?
Well,
but come on, man.
Byron Daniels is after me. Byron Daniels is after me. No, but let's think.
Well, let me take that back. It's not genetic, it's culture.
Yeah, I mean, but culture on a long enough time frame is genetic.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
So like, if when white people, you know what I love? If you watch on Twitter, it's actually the best argument. It's so fun. The race realists, the super racists who say like black people are genetically different to white people and you're more violent and and all this shit. They always attack me on Twitter they call me mulatto and all this shit. It's so funny. And I read all their shit. I read all their shit. I read all the race realism stuff. And I'm kind of sitting there going, kind of agree with some of it.
Yeah.
They're saying black people are more naturally violent. I'm like, you're damn right. Watch out. But that's right, pussy. But culture on a long enough time frame becomes genetics. I mean, let's be honest. Is the average African as smart as the average Westerner? No. I would argue that if you go to the Central African Republic, where they don't have schools and they don't have infrastructure, and their parents haven't been to school and their grandparents haven't been to school, that probably they're not as smart as somebody who's their entire bloodline's been university educated. Probably that is true. So after a long enough time frame, it becomes genetic, and then you want to take enough of them and dump them over here and expect them to operate within complicated systems they don't fully understand. They're probably just going to say, "Fuck it, let's rob the store," and then you have. I mean, this is realism. This is realism.
Yeah, because you look at Africa, it's a continent, it's not a country, but if that was a country like the United States with the resources they got, the manpower they have, it would be a superpower.
It should be
the biggest superpower.
It should be a superpower.
But this little United States, majority is white, is running the world.
Well, white people are the best at building complicated systems. That's what the white people do best.
Yeah.
I mean, like my camera guy who's off. There he is. Look at him.
White
right?
guy.
These are the people who, in 1960s in NASA, when they did Apollo 11.
Yeah.
All them motherfuckers, there's like 20,000 of them, little white guys with glasses and pieces of paper and a pen, and they put something on the moon.
Yeah.
You get 10,000 black people in a room, tell them to achieve anything.
Dude, that was so wrong. But factual.
How long till there's a fight? Shaniqua's jumping in. She's trying to hit him. Like we're more family orientated. We're more clan orientated. right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
more
like
tribalistic.
we're tribalistic,
Yeah,
which is a pro and a con. Again, these are pros and cons. But if you want to extrapolate it out towards a nation state, the thing the white man is best at is working with people he doesn't know. That's a white man's superpower. A white man will go, hello, I've got a bunch of money. And I want to build boats. I've decided I want to build boats. So I'm going to go and find the best boat builder. John Smith. Hello, boat builder. I don't know you. You don't know me. This is called a contract. And let's do a contract and you're going to build the boats and I'm going to pay for it. And now we have a successful shipping company. In Africa, it doesn't work that way. They're like, I'm rich. I want boats. Who do I know? My cousin.
Yeah.
My cousin can't build boats. He doesn't know anything about boats, but that's who I know. He's the only guy I trust. He's in my clan. He's my family. So I go to my cousin. You're in charge of the boats. Okay, I will build the boats. And he takes the money, and then no boats get built, and everything's fine. That's why the finance minister is the second cousin of the fucking president, and nobody knows anything, and it's all insidious because you only trust your people. Now, I'm still like that now. I'm black enough like that now. I trust my brother, my people.
Yeah.
So I got that black in me. But I'm also white enough to know I can do a contract and get a boat built. But white people are fantastic at trusting people they don't know. That's why white people are like howdy neighbor. They don't even know you. Howdy. White people have this weird, no, it's not weird, but the white people mentality is far more attributed towards the benefit of society with a larger understanding of working with those they're not directly correlated with. Whereas the black people is like, these are my people only. And it's very insular. But it becomes far more difficult to run a country that way with competence. If you want to run a country competently, you need to find the most competent man for the job. I don't know if this is true. I don't want to be held up on it, and I don't want to be attacked for it. It might not be true, but I heard something that when the British start selling their ships around, they were amazed that when they got to all these native countries, the Aboriginals in Australia and Africa and India, all these places, no one had heard of a contract. No one had heard of the idea of working with someone who wasn't their family. They're like, it's a contract. They haven't heard of a contract. No one had heard of it. So what, you just find anyone to do it?
Heard of a house. They was living in grass huts.
Well, that's right. So they were like
savages.
Yeah. Well,
have you seen those videos of them eating? Hey, pull up
It's
that,
the
Joe.
year 20.
Joe, pull up those TikTok videos of these African tribes.
Byron, I'm sorry. Listen, I know you got busted for weed. Fucking talk about letting the black man down. For busted for fucking weed.
Check fraud.
Andrew Tate's a human trafficker. You know, fuck this guy. I'm moving to Vegas. Fuck these people. Bring your case. Fuck you.
Yeah, make it bigger, Joe. These people have not evolved at all for like probably 5,000 years. Back to being a white man back in the slave days, so yeah, we'll take these.
All right, so let's talk about this now.
Yeah.
We're going down race realism, and you know, we're the only people brown enough to get away with this, so we can do it.
Oh, we're not going to get away with this shit.
Well, let's talk about it, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's their culture.
The white man, where he grew up, primarily, they had to plan ahead in a way different than the Africans did. So, like, if you were in England, you had to grow grain, because that's how you eat. But grain only grows a certain part of the year. So you have to think ahead, and you have to plan. You have to plow the field. Then you have to grow the grain. Then you got to build buildings to store it in. And that means you need a lot of people. A lot of people need schools, hospitals, roads, housing. Now you need a city. You have to plan everything over a year cycle just to have food. In Africa, they didn't have to do that. Mango. Boom. They just go get a mango when they're hungry. Go kill this. They had so much resource, they didn't have to plan ahead. Wait till you're hungry, kill something, eat it. You didn't have the same infrastructure that was required to eat.
Yeah, it gets cold in Europe.
It gets cold. You got to build a house. You need firewood. You got to think ahead. You apply that across 1,000 years. You have a very different mentality towards life than you do in Africa, which is just pure brutal survivalism. That's what it is.
I've heard that argument because of the weather, white versus the white man and the black man. Both races evolved differently over time because living in a cold, horrible climate, you got to think.
Yep.
And you live in a warm environment, you just get up, take a shit, and make you a bowl of soup like these niggas.
That's right. That's right. And you're good. So this is it. And then we also apply this to what I said earlier about the white man having to work with other people he doesn't particularly know. If you're going to go through all that work to build to grow grain, and you have to build a grain store, you don't want your grain to go bad. So you're going to find the best grain store company guy in the world, whoever he is, and you're going to have a contract with him. And you're going to learn to work with and get along with people you didn't particularly get along with, etc. Whereas Africans didn't have any of these problems, so they're far more clan-based and clan-oriented.
Tribalistic. You see that here in America? Like I used to be a private investigator, and I was watching people like insurance claims right back in the day.
So he's watching me for Byron.
So
why am I giving Byron a hard time? Fuck Ron too. Fuck both of them. fuck Ron, little Ron.
Okay. Right. So I was a private investigator, and they sent me to the black community. It was Watts.
Nobody else wanted to go.
Yeah.
They said, you'll fit in. So the white man sends me there, and I'm there. I'm in that neighborhood maybe 2 minutes before everybody comes out like, who is this nigga?
Yeah, of course.
It's like, you see that tribalism that came from our evolution in Africa is here in America.
Oh, 100%.
You could be just go into any black neighborhood, all black. Even if you're black, they're going to be looking at you crazy.
But this is the thing that's interesting, because people at home don't understand that the matrix itself, the people who are in charge of the world, they find every innate action or every innate inclination that humans have, and they hijack it and Trojan horse it. So the natural tribalism that blacks have, they hijack and Trojan horse and use against us when a convicted fucking felon does some dumb shit he shouldn't have done, and and black people defend him anyway.
Right.
Because it's tribalism, right? They'll stick up for him anyway. The liberals are actually very tribalistic. It's very interesting that if a conservative is accused of something, not even convicted, will self-cannibalize. Whereas if a liberal is accused of something, no one gives a fuck. If he's convicted, no one gives a fuck. If he did it, there's a fucking video, no one gives a fuck. The liberals don't care. The liberals will accept a criminal into their team if it helps them, no problem. Us conservatives, the moral high ground, will fucking self-cannibalize over an accusation all day long. It's pathetic. But they do this with everything. They Trojan horse all things. So if you're in charge of the world and you want to get an objective done, these people are not stupid. They literally rule the world. They'll sit there and go, okay, we want to convince people that if they pay more taxes, the sun will stop being hot. So how do we do this? Well, this is a pretty hard argument to get across. So we're going to start with something more basic. Do you like trees? Yeah, I like trees. Do you like the oceans and the fish? Do you want to destroy the whole world? No, I don't want to destroy the whole world. All right, then we're going to put up your taxes. So they take your natural. So they take your natural inclination.
Be a dumb fuck to believe that.
Yeah. So they take your natural inclination to like nature, and they Trojan horse it. They put in Trojan horses. Another one's tolerance. Oh, we're Christians. Yeah, you're tolerant, right? You're not horrible people. You're tolerant. You understand other people. You're tolerant. Yeah. Okay. Here's a drag queen. Whoa. So that's what they do. They take your natural inclinations and they sneak in these Trojan horses with everything all the time. So the tribalism of the black people is being used against them when they're sticking up for fucking dickhead pieces of shit. No other race does this, by the way. If a white man had a rap sheet as long as his arm and murdered someone, white people wouldn't be like, oh, stick it up. White people don't even stick up for themselves. So let's forget that. Asians, whatever. But black people will be like, no, still. Like the way they attack Daniel Penny, it's like that motherfucker been harassing people on the subway forever. The number of people who have traveled the subway and dreamed of punching that nigger in the face. How many people have literally, there was a man who got on the subway every morning to thought, one day I'm gonna punch that nigger in the face. And he's doing his shit Michael Jackson moves or whatever the fuck. It's like the one day.
That's why I call it black fatigue.
People are just tired of this. But the black tribalism just rallies around them. And then you add in a little bit of money because all these fucking people manage to somehow pay their bills. How do you pay your bills when you're marching for black people all day? Try it. Go out there and march. Go out there and march. March all day. Go just decide, you know what? I'm super passionate about this issue. And go start marching all day. You'll soon learn you have nowhere to fucking live. These motherfuckers are in a mansion pushing Escalades with private security. You add in USAID money, and all of a sudden you have these huge fucking movements. And it's not just in America. This is what the American state has been doing globally all around the world.
All over the world.
This is how they did the Ukraine-Russian war. They sit there and go, how do we make people who are so ethnically close, so ethnically aligned, who look the fucking same, who speak the same language, who've lived next to each other for eons, who grew up on the same TV shows, who share the same history. How do we make them hate each other? Well, what we need is we need a 20-year campaign of pushing Ukrainian independence, that Ukraine's actually a separate country to Russia. And we need to push the Ukrainian language. And we need to change the Ukrainian TV stations and make them different from Russia. We need to cut off the Russian news. We need to push this idea that Ukraine has always been subjected to abuse from Russia and that they're abused people. And then we need to find the nationalists inside of Ukraine who believe that Ukraine should be a standalone place. Then we need to promise them that when Ukraine is a standalone place, they'll be the kings of it. Then we need to make all of them rich and give them loads of money. And on a long enough time frame, you end up getting enough hatred and sentiment that you get the fucking war you want. It's all done on purpose. All of these things are Trojan horse. So when they sit there and go, we want a war between these two countries, they'll go, okay, let's find and infiltrate the nationalistic aspect of this one. Or same with the fucking sun being hot. Let's find a motherfucker who likes trees. Let's offer him a bunch of money, get him to walk around. And people are deliberately ignorant for a bag. Like I'll be honest. Like you take the average black person and say, look, just say black people are oppressed. Look, here's some money. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. People are pretty empty. Don't you remember being a child thinking adults were smart? Do you remember that?
I used to actually look up to politicians.
I used to look up to grown-ups.
I'm
like, that's a grown-up. Turns out they were all fucking retarded the whole fucking time. And it's like everyone's a fucking dipshit. Everyone's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Everyone will do anything for a fucking paycheck. Everyone's a fucking liar. Everyone's self-interested. And the only kind of smart people that exist are the people like me who at least understand what I am.
Right.
Like, I don't deny these things. I'll sit here and go, the reason I'm better than these motherfuckers is because they don't even know they're those things. I'll self-analyze and go, I am self-interested. I'm a person who's going to try and do things for his own self-interest. I'm a person who's going to try and benefit himself. So I can at least check myself because I know the game I'm playing. These other motherfuckers are so dumb, they don't even know the game they're playing. So they really believe they're saving the trees or saving the black man while getting fucking paid to march around all day. It's a fucking setup.
Yeah,
idiots are the enemy, guys. Idiots, dumb people, you know, like stupid people or weirdos or nerds, all these people that in school used to get bullied and picked on. I guess maybe that was God's way or natural selection to just keep them in their fucking place. Because as soon as they get any power, look what they fucking do. Look at the theater kids. When the theater kids got their asses whooped, it was fine. Now they're called the Democrats and they're fucking destroying society. We need more bullying. We need the bullies back. Have you ever, this is a true story. I changed school a lot when I was a kid because I moved around. You know when you watch movies and someone goes into the new school and they see the nerd being picked on and they go and get to know the nerd and the nerd's really a cool guy? Have you ever tried to get to know a nerd? Because after like 5 minutes, you're like, I get why they pick on you. If you ever go talk to the weird kid, you join a new school, they're like, don't talk to him, he's weird. I'm like, leave him alone. No, he's fucking weird, he's a fucking loser. I'm like, guys, there's like 6 of you, fucking leave him alone. I got to talk to him for 5 minutes. I'm like, fuck that nigga, guys. He is fucking weird. That kid is weird. Most of these people deserve what they get.
Hey, I remember we had this friend, I'm not going to say his name. Remember, bleep this out. Remember him? Yeah. Like, he was the weird guy. He got all A's, but he was weird. Nobody talked to him. Yeah. So me and Kelvin, I think we was like 6, 7. Let's go talk to him. They're picking on him. So we hang out. He said, hey, man, won't you guys come over today so we can play? Yeah. Right? So we go to his house, and he calls his dog in. He starts jacking his dog off. Wow. And then we look at each other like, I'm going to kick your ass.
It's like, these weird kids, they end up there. It's not an accident. Right. You know? So, like, it's kind of natural selection. But I guess now they're all allowed to run for office. I see these fucking Democrat politicians doing these fucking thought-ass TikToks. You know, what was it? It was
Jasmine
Trump.
Crockett?
Bro. It was Trump's State of the Union. When I saw his State of the Union and I saw them holding up the signs, like, you know, Elon pay his taxes and shit. I was sitting in a cigar bar with Tristan and Roger Stone, who's a G. And I was watching the State of the Union. I said, in no sensible country on earth could Donald Trump be standing up there telling the truth and some fucking be in the same room heckling him. Like, what kind of fucking country even is this now? Like, who are these people? You've achieved nothing. Who are you to sit with your fat ass? You can't even calorie control. Sitting there on a chair insulting Elon, who's putting rockets in space, saving humanity.
Satellites.
And you're sitting there going, with your sign, thinking you look good? How hubristic and stupid and arrogant do you have to be to sit there after achieving fucking nothing?
They open a sign, Elon steals.
Yeah, eating Twinkies, and then, I'll get him. Like, these people are fucking retards. In any real country, in any sensible country, truthfully, if you had the richest man on earth who was in charge of innovating probably the most disruptive technologies on earth, in any real country, of course he'd be in government. He'd probably be the fucking president. He'd probably be in charge of absolutely everything. And there wouldn't be some fucking hippo heckling him from the crowd. He'd be the boss of anything. You think of Azerbaijan had the fucking richest man on the planet who was the only person who could do things in space that nobody else could and putting chips in people's brains and the only person that could compete with China and their soon-to-be global hegemony when it comes to electric vehicles. And you had one man competing against the entire Chinese industrial base and he's super rich. You have this one guy. You think you're going to allow him to be heckled by some fucking nobody with a sign? In any real country, he'd be fucking Lord. But here in America, we're like, fuck Elon, fuck you. He's trying to save us money. Fuck Elon. Like, who are these people? Who the fuck are these people? I swear, when my criminal case is complete, I'm going to walk around, I'm going to go to these protests. I'm going to say, who are you? Tell me your life story. I'm very interested. What have you achieved that compares to Elon Musk? Because you have a very strong opinion. Please tell me what you've done. Because you smell. You haven't had a shower today. I want to know what you truly believe, how the world should actually work. It's fucking incredible. It's incredible. Oh, Jesus. Always white people, too. Let's fuck it. We've done the blacks enough. Let's do the whites.
It's always white people. That is facts, too. Always, when it comes to somebody complaining, there's always some white motherfucker that's always sitting there complaining about black people problems. when they never dealt to being a black person in one day of their motherfucking life. I don't understand that shit. Never will. But we're gonna keep it going.
White people are going to go extinct because of bitches like her.
Yeah, right.
You know, we talk about this. I'll tell you something.
We need some good white people, man.
Bro, white people are going to go extinct, and it's their own fucking fault.
Yeah.
You're organized, you're smart, you could get everything in line, you refuse because there's too many traitors in your camp. What did I say earlier about men betraying other men? Mm-hmm. Men betraying other men is how they manage to do this STEM-centric bullshit that destroys men all the time. Mm-hmm. White people are being subverted by all the white people which are desperate to see their race go extinct.
Yeah.
You can never have a traitor in your camp. Watch the 300 movie. You can have the 300 strongest motherfuckers alive.
Right.
You got one traitor, you're going to lose. You never have a traitor in your camp. White people have been betrayed by all these fucking liberal whites who are desperate to watch white people go extinct.
Yeah,
they don't have kids.
I wouldn't even call them liberal. I would call them like progressive. Progressive, yeah.
They're self-extinctionist.
Yeah.
All they're begging for is just to be fucking decimated and controlled and destroyed. What's interesting to me is white people are already getting their asses whooped left and right by black people who are angry every time they're in the wrong scenario. What's going to happen when you're not even the majority anymore?
Right.
You think, white people, you think you're going to be in a better position when you're the minority in your own country? With all this intrinsic hatred? They'll be talking about slavery in 2,000 years from now, fucking locking you up in a space jail.
Yeah, look what's happening in South Africa. I think the black people's taking all the white people's land down.
Yeah, they took all the shit. They took it.
Just took it.
And the white people have been there since the 1600s. Yeah. They've been there forever.
Yeah.
People have this idea, oh, white people came and took it. They've been there for fucking 600-700 years. They've been there. They're as African as anybody. But nah, they're losing their shit because they're white. Why are they taking their shit? Because they got shit. Because they got something to take.
Yeah,
right. So it's truly incredible that white people are on this extinctionist path. But white people are not allowed to be nationalistic, and white people are not allowed to love themselves, and they're not allowed to stick up for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's done by the Matrix on purpose, you know? And there's a lot of reasons why that's done. I talked about it on PBD. It already got me a lot of heat, but the World War II narrative is how they do that. They say that when white people are nationalistic, it ends up as Nazis, which is why they used the World War II narrative to subvert white people sticking up for themselves and sticking together. And then if you understand the real story of World War II, you understand that that's a lie. So that's the true betrayal of the white man. But it's also incredible for me to put it in a comedic sense to try and avoid jail. Let me try and be a comedian. White people are the only people who listen to women. That's their problem. Black people don't listen to women.
They don't even raise the kids, they just leave.
Bye. You're like, you got to raise these kids. No, I'm out of here. Black people don't listen to women. You think Chinese motherfuckers listen to women? No. You think Indians listen to women? Even skinny little pussy-ass Indians don't listen to their women. You go to fucking Mumbai, and even you can see the skinniest nigga alive. He's been with fucking sandals on, no money, and his woman can't get fresh to him because she'll get slapped up in the street.
Yeah, that's nobody, the thing in every country. Every country will slap the shit out of a woman.
Nobody listens to women but white men. The only people alive are these wife-jack white men who listen to women. And as soon as you start listening to women, you end up doing this shit. When you listen to women, you end up idealistic, you're not realistic, and you watch your entire fucking society implode. I will argue that if you look at COVID, the only households that were scared of COVID were the households where the woman's in charge. Because when I came home during COVID, there was 2 girls in my house. I came home and they're like, have you seen the news? It's like, what? There's a big new virus. Don't care. And they're
my
like,
wife lost her shit.
I was like, I don't care. And then the girls go, so what should we do? I was like, nothing. Fixed. My house was fixed because I told them, shut up, no one cares. Done. If I would have come home, my wife was like, we have to see your aunt next week. We have to see the grandma. We have kids and there's a big virus. Put a mask on. Now we're scared of household violence because women are emotionally driven, so they can be intimidated.
Right.
It's the reason they want women to be control of the household is because if you want to convince a man of something, you have to use a degree of rationality. If you want to convince a woman of something, all you have to do is scare her. You don't have to be rational with a woman. You can just say, do you love your grandma? Well, yeah. Emotional arguments. I love my grandma. To put the mask on. That's how they do it with women. With men, it's far more difficult. You're like, yeah, I love my grandma, but she's 96. She's going to die anyway. Why the fuck am I wearing a mask? I ain't seeing her till next month. What the fuck you talking about? Whereas a woman, it's just like, well, you don't love your grandma. So they want women in charge of everything. And this is the white man's problem. He's the only motherfucker who listens to women. You see it. I grew up in a household. Where when it was Thanksgiving, the men would sit on one table and the women would sit on another table with the kids. And the men would sit around and have men talks. And now I'm going through life and I'm sitting at a table and there's a bunch of full-grown men and everyone's sitting there with their wives and I'm trying to talk about something and some woman has an opinion. And now there's a woman talking, interrupting 8 full-grown men, telling me her bullshit, which is wrong. And I'm just sitting here like, the fuck? And there's some white guy and he's like, well done. My wife thinks. I don't give a fuck what your wife thinks. I don't give a fuck what your wife thinks. What the fuck's she talking for? I don't care. So white people listen to women and that's what's going to go extinct. I'll give you another example. White people listen to women and women have to go through the terrible, I'm guessing it's terrible, I'd argue it probably hurts a bit, of childbirth. So white women are like, yeah, I want 1 baby, maybe 2. Oh, we'll have a 3rd one if we get another house and a nanny and a 4th car. Yeah, they make it nearly impossible to reproduce. Black people don't care. Black people don't care. Baby, baby, baby,
Pussy's
baby.
just gotta be good.
Baby, 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 baby. They don't give a shit, right? So white people are also being out-reproduced. So the white man's problem is that they listen to women all the time. And if you're going to listen to women, you're going to be destroyed because matriarchal societies or matriarchal clans or races can't compete with patriarchal ones. And I know that to be a fact because you look at history. I always ask people, name a time in history or name a civilization in history anywhere on the planet where the women were in charge of the men. Name one. You can't. Because anytime it was ever tried, they got fucking crushed by their neighbors where the men were in charge. So as soon as the society becomes matriarchal, it's over. White people in general are matriarchal. The average white man's like, oh, well, the wife says, they're wife jacks. I get so much hate online from these fucking wife guys. They can't fucking stand me, these wife guys. They can't stand me because really they hate their wife because their wife henpecks them all day.
They're projecting.
They're projecting. Their wife's picking on them all day and they're seeing me have my fucking 18th kid and they're fucking furious. And they're like, oh, you're a fucking piece of shit. No, you're just mad your woman won't have as many kids as you want. You're mad and you want to come at me because they're wife guys. Wife jacks are fucking losers. Nick Fuentes nailed this about wife jacks. He fucking nailed it. Because if your best friend's a chick, you're probably gay. Like you and your girlfriend, it's a business arrangement. I'm paying for your life and you're giving me kids and you're going to make my life happier. And if I'm sick, you bring me soup and we're a little happy family. Cool. It's a business arrangement. We love each other. Yeah. But there's certain things. To say you're my best friend is fucking weird. My women aren't my best friend. They want that. They're like, oh, are you my best friend? Yeah. But really, we have nothing in common, basically. Like, you're hot. I'm rich. There's a child. Like, it is what it is. What are we going to sit and talk about? And we have a few issues we can agree on, but most of the time it's just me educating you. The best conversation I can have with a woman is when she doesn't talk and just listens. I just say, no, this is how it works. 3 hours. Okay, I understand. All right, bedtime. Let's go.
Well, look at our society today. The main reason why we have men and women's restroom and men and women's sports is because of women.
Yeah, it's to protect them, to give them their free space, safe space. And a lot of those men, those wife jacks, you call them, they're just trying to get brownie points with their woman.
Oh, of course
that's why they attack you.
Look, of course they are. Look what I did. Look what I did, dear. I told the horrible misogynist that he needs to have one woman. Can we have sex yet? Fucking gay. It's all gay, bro. But this is a white man's problem. The white man listens to women, and until they stop doing that, they're going to get. They're a matriarchal clan, they're a matriarchal race, and that means they're going to be extinct. They're going to go. The white people are going to go extinct.
I think a majority of those wife jacks is on the left.
You know, you'd be surprised.
On the right,
you'd be surprised. There's a whole bunch of these conservative guys who are like super wife jacky, and I'm not saying don't love your wife.
Brian Donaldson, Ron DeSantis.
He's trying to get his wife as governor. I'm misunderstood when I say these points. They think I'm saying don't love your wife. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't protect your wife. I'm not saying don't respect your wife. I'm not saying don't have a relationship with your wife. I'm not saying don't love your wife. I'm not saying any of those things. What I'm saying is that you're the man of the fucking house, and that your power as a man is going to be amplified by the other men you know, and that you should be part of a clan or an army that makes you as powerful as possible, and that is man's business. And she is benefiting from all of that. She gets financial protection, she gets physical protection, she gets a whole bunch of benefits from you being a man with your guys doing your man things. She ain't in charge of you. It's not her business to tell you how the world works because she doesn't fucking know. And it's not her business to tell you how to be a man either. It's her business to have a kid and be happy and be safe and be rich and make you smile. And that's her job. Because our job as men is to suffer all the time and be basically miserable. That's our job. And to get enough money so that we can make our kids and our women happy. You get to smile. You get to be happy. You get joy. My women, man, they leave the house. They're like, Andrew. I'm like, what? Look at that cloud. I'm like, bitch, get the fucking cloud. Ron DeSantis is trying to lock me up. It's about a fucking cloud. But they have such peace of mind that they get to be happy with dumb shit. That is a fucking joy. You have that peace of mind because I gave it to you. I gave it to you because you ain't got to fucking work. You ain't got to do nothing. You don't know anything. You look at the clouds, you're happy. I'm glad for that. But by extension, by logical extension, if you're the kind of person who's impressed by clouds, I would argue you're not allowed to have a differing point of view to mine because you don't know shit. You don't know anything. So when I do something or say something, even if you don't understand it fully, tough. Get over it. Or leave and find another famous billionaire. Good luck. I think Elon's hiring. So you can go get ignored by him instead of me. It is what it is. But that's just the bottom line of it. But white people don't do that. White people are like fucking listening to their women, and their women's like, well, you know, at work today I heard something about, no, you know what? This just came to my mind. I need to do this. I was going to do this on an emergency meeting. By a terrible twist of fate, in the background of my house, because normally when girls are in my house, they watch TV, and my brother and I were on the computers. We ignore it. One of them was watching a show. It's Love is Blind or something. Love is Blind season 8, it might be. Love is Blind. And it's where you have a man and a woman, and they don't see each other, and they fall in love just by talking. And I wanted to break them down on emergency meetings because these got no game.
Right.
No game at all. These guys have no game, and the girls are terrible. The whole thing's a mess. I'm going to really destroy it. But there was a white woman asking a white man, what do you think about George Floyd? And he was like, oh, I don't really know about it. Oh, I don't know if we can be together because, you know, it's almost like it's a big existential issue and it seems like you don't care. And there's these two white people talking about George Floyd. And I was like, bro, just tell her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just tell her to shut the fuck up. What does she know about George Floyd?
Yeah.
Where did she get this opinion from? The fucking news. She's just brainwashed. Here's another extension. We talked about the 3 phases of women, right? How they're girl bosses, which we know is not true. How they can do everything a man can do because of DEI, which we also know is not true. But throughout the largest period of human history, women were protected and they were treated like a protected class, not treated like children, but they were protected and they were isolated, like you said, women's bathrooms, because we protected them. So they listened to their father, then they listened to their man. They always had a guardian. They always had a protector all of the time because we understood that if you leave a woman to her own devices, she's often going to make shit decisions, or she's open to be susceptible.
Manipulated.
She's open to being manipulated, right? So I would argue if that's the case, you have 2 classes of women in the world today. You have women who listen to their men, or you have women who listen to the Matrix. Name another class. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You have women who listen to their man, who, like the conservative women or whoever, they'll listen to their man. I obey my husband. My husband votes Trump. I vote Trump. I obey my man. Or they're listening to CNN. When does a woman ever had an original thought?
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's all just the news, repeating the news to you, or repeating what her man likes. That's why when a woman falls.
I disagree on that one though. Not every single woman is like that 100% though. That is cap. I'll call cap on that one.
In love with a man, she has the same music tastes. She likes the same cars. She has the same interests. When she truly loves you, she likes what you like. You know, it's not hard to make a woman vote for what you want to vote for because if she loves you, she will. That's just how it is. And if she ain't listening to you, she's listening to the news. They're susceptible because women don't go out in the world and carve their own path. Men do. We go out there and struggle and we carve our own paths, and perhaps we'll find something in the middle because through personal experience, we've done enough crazy things to come up with some strange or different conclusion.
Right.
Women don't do that. So women are just either obeying a man or obeying the Matrix, which means that men have an obligation, if you want to destroy the Matrix and you want to protect the women, is to make it clear to them that they're being lied to all of the time. I say to the women in my house, sometimes they'll put some dumb shit on. I'm like, why the fuck is this on?
Right.
Turn this off. But why? Because a 110-pound chick has just beat up 8 full-grown men. This isn't real. I would hate for you to be walking down the street one day and think you know chick foo because you've watched too much Netflix and get a different level of ass kicking. Like, fuck this off. This is all Matrix programming. Get it out of your mind. I'm here to protect you because I love you. I care about you. Turn this off. It's shit. You know? I'm called misogynistic for that. But if you don't control the influences over the people you care about as a man, then they're going to be influenced by your enemies because that's what they are, your enemies.
Hey, man, I don't feel so good, man.
All right, yeah, we pretty much about to be done. But yeah, like he got his points, but you know, he just said hella blunt.
Now, try optimal human for free today.
It happens right now with children. Who raises the kids in America? YouTube and the school. Not the fucking parents. I've seen videos on YouTube of children arguing with their fathers about transgenderism.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Who taught them that shit? YouTube and their school. They spend more time in school and more time on YouTube than they do with their own fucking parents.
Right.
You're not even raising your own kids anymore.
Right.
And that's done on purpose. You're out there working your ass off to pay taxes. Every parent, both parents need a job.
Right.
Everyone's out. And you're just sitting on the fucking internet and going to school all day.
Hell, California, they passed a law where you can hide transition your kid from their parents.
So who even owns the kids now, right? And that's what the government wants because they want to control the future.
Right.
And also another thing you have to keep in mind, this is actually something that's very interesting. When anyone comes along with a concept and they decide to aim it at women and children instead of aim it at men, you can be sure that concept is a bad concept. Because if you have an idea and you try and pitch it to men, you're going to have rational pushback. But if you have an idea and you go, fuck it, let's take the easy route, it's probably a bad idea. So LGBT, they'll aim at the kids who don't know any better and the women who are susceptible to emotional arguments. Right. Oh, but gays have feelings too, whatever. have feelings too. Men are like, I don't care if he has a feeling. I don't give a shit. It's wrong. So also you can judge a good or bad idea by who they target and who they aim at. I could tell the story from Bucharest, Romania. I moved to Bucharest, Romania 10 years ago. It's the most Christian country in the world, 99.9% Christian. Churches everywhere. Extremely Christian nation. And only 2 years ago, I saw the first ever gay pride parade. First ever. And it was sponsored by the U.S. Embassy, funnily enough, paid for the whole thing. And they had a gay pride parade in the middle of the city. And we drove past it, and it was quite small. There must have been 100 people at most. And you know who it was? It was a whole bunch of straight, hot chicks who I guess thought it was cool or funny. You know, like 19-year-old, 20-year-old straight chicks who thought it was like cool to make TikToks with the flag, acceptance, tolerance, blah, blah, blah. And I drove by, I didn't even see any gay guys. It's like, this is just a bunch of fucking hot chicks who just want to be accepted. Proving my point absolutely that if there's not a man keeping them in check, they are open to doing the fucking bidding of the devil, the bidding of Satan via the Matrix, because they aim for women. I drove past, I drove past a gay pride parade. I've never seen so many hotties. That's all it was. But that's how they aim. They aim for the young impressionable women all the time. So that's why it's extremely important as a man you protect her mind and her body. You have to protect her in every way. Because if you don't protect her mind, she will not allow you to protect her body anymore. Then she'll sit there and say, well, you can't tell me what to do. I'm telling you not to go out at 4 in the fucking morning. It's dark. You know? Women live in such a fucking deluded world. A chick said to me once, it'd be good to be a man. It's like, why? You can walk around at night without worry. I was like, bitch, you dumb? I was like, you think I walk around without worry? Are you stupid? I think I have more worry than you. Like, I have worry. Like, you walk around, okay, yes, perhaps there could be a particularly heinous sexual criminal, of course. But there's a degree of men out there, even if they rob people, might say, don't get the chick, like, there might be some degree of honor in it. I wouldn't argue I'm any safer than you if I'm in the wrong area. In fact, I would argue because I'm a threat, they'll shoot me first, then rob me. They won't even fucking just come snatch my shit. They'll just shoot me first.
Right.
So women believe that men just walk around freely and we have no worries and we have no concerns. Like, they don't even live in the real fucking world unless you educate them. So yeah, this is the problem. And this is the problem with society en masse, but it's particularly a problem with white people because every single time you see these protests, which are basically begging for the destruction of Western civilization.
Yeah, I'm thinking the globe is scared that you're going to influence white men to start being men again.
Well, I was trying, but then they turned on me because they're all wife jacks. You know, it's funny. I'll tell you the few things I've said. The few things I've said that's pissed off the conservatives.
Yeah.
One was defending Palestine. Pissed the conservatives off.
That's the pro-Christian thing to do.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I mean, I think it's just a humanist thing to do. Well, anyone who's a human.
Fox News is programmed to hate Muslims. They've been demonized ever since 9/11. So, and it's not a coincidence that Fox News is run by a Jew.
Well, there you go.
It's not a coincidence why they're after you. You being Muslim.
Yeah. I think you might be right. I think the prosecutor is after me in Florida as a Jew.
Yep.
Really? Is she?
He. AG something. Yeah. Interesting. So there's that side of it. And what's funny is, although I've talked against Zionism and I've talked about the obviously barbaric and heinous actions in Palestine, I've often attacked the Jew-hating crowd too. I've said that some of these Jew haters take it way too fucking far because these Jew haters will say the Jews control everything. And I'll say, okay, yeah, the Jews control everything. And there's nothing you can say where they don't attribute to Jews. And they'll say, I can't get a girlfriend because the Jewish media has convinced all the women because Sex and the City did it. I'm like,
yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, okay, listen, you're a skinny little bitch. So the problem, you can't get a girlfriend because you got skinny arms. And the Jews have never stopped you walking into the gym. You're just using it as a coping mechanism for your own failures. So I've attacked the Jew hating crowd too. So now, unfortunately, I'm in between. The Jews hate me and the fucking Jew haters hate me. So everyone hates me. So that was the first thing. And the second thing is I don't get a pass because I've got multiple baby mothers, and that really pisses the wife jacks off. They can't fucking stand it. Elon does. Trump does. They don't care. Me, for some reason, it super bothers them deep in their heart. And I think it's because when they go home to their wife and they're getting picked on by her, they know I haven't got to deal with that shit. So when they get on Twitter, they want to be a tough guy, and they want to attack me with it. Because, of course, everyone's a tough guy on Twitter, of course. So those are the two things that have annoyed them the most. But, yeah, I think that it's not just about making white people stick up for themselves. The bottom line of the universe is that if you don't resist, you're going to get crushed. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what sex you are. It doesn't matter what animal you are, what plant. The universe is violence. When you see a big, tall, beautiful tree, everyone sits under the shade and says, wow, this tree's so beautiful. But I don't see that. I don't see a big, tall, beautiful tree. I see a fighter who killed every fucking tree around it and destroyed every sapling, and its roots went so deep that no other tree could get water, and that's why it's the only tree there, because it killed every other nigger. That's a real tree. He's a real G, top T. Right? So that's violence. That's the world. If you're not prepared to fight, you're going to be crushed. If white people are going to continue to let their women walk around praying for more migration and praying to not balance the fucking budget, then white people are going to go extinct. And then I can go down the rabbit hole of you get what you deserve in this world.
Yeah.
You know? We talk about this with Islam and Christianity. And this is a sensitive topic, but I get this a lot. And they say, you know, the Christians are being replaced in England and all the Muslims are taking control and the Muslims are praying outside the Christian churches. And I say, yeah, that's completely disrespectful. I disagree with that personally as a Muslim. But if Christians are not going to resist in any way, if you're just going to sit there and bend and roll over, you know, I'm not even saying we're enemies. I'm saying if you have an ideology and you won't defend it, if you're going to allow France during the Olympic ceremony to mock Jesus Christ with transgender, like how long are you going to let yourself be mocked? If you're not going to ever stick up for anything, you're going to be crushed.
Right.
And this is the situation we're in now because you have all these competing power dynamics. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting how it all plays out into the future. But it actually makes me very sad. The white side of me is quite sad when I see these insane white people begging for white human decimation. Like white girls are hot. We need them. And this is bullshit. Like, but they just desperate to go extinct for some reason. I don't know why.
A lot of people call that white guilt.
Yeah,
that is so gay. That is so gay.
Yeah.
Like
so
white guilt. But again, once again, it's the largest psyop in history. They pretend only white people had slaves. Do you know who had slaves? Africans. You know who still has slaves? Africans. Like, you know who had slaves? The Arabs had slaves. Everyone had slaves.
Right.
In fact, the only people to ever abolish slavery ever were white people. Every other nation just let it carry on. Do you think the white people went to Africa and then in their cotton coats with their muskets chased niggas down the forest and put them on a fucking boat?
No.
They turned up and they said to the local warlord, what slaves do you have? I'll buy them off you. They were already slaves. And they bought them off them for gunpowder so that the local warlord could go enslave some more.
Bags of sugar and mirrors.
That's right. And then they took the slaves that were already slaves and took them to pick up the lightest product on the planet, cotton. Congratulations.
That's why I denounce that term African American. I don't know.
Yeah,
no, I'm not African.
But the psyop runs so deep. It's so deep on so many levels. But the people in charge don't give a shit, right? The people in charge, let's say you're running for mayor or you're running for governor. Everything we've said in this podcast, nobody who's running for power can say. Because people are not smart enough to listen or understand it. Or consider, I don't agree with 100% of it, but maybe there's a point. Or I don't agree with it, but it doesn't offend me. There's none of that. Because everyone's a fucking retard. So if you want to run for governor, you have to stand up and say, I'll protect the black community, black people, or blah, 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 just talk shit. And just lie. And then you become governor and you start getting paid and you've lied to get into fucking office. So guess what we're going to continue to do? Lie. And then you make the problem true. You make the problem come true by doing it. So we don't have any kind of honest governance on any level now. And it actually goes deeper. It's interesting when you try and analyze, because I think often long and hard about democracy. I was saying this. In fact, I was saying this to a white guy. We're talking about race. I was saying this to a white guy. I was saying, do you have any idea? In fact, I was saying it to my cameraman on the way to court. I was saying, this court shit is so white. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, this is a white man's invention. He goes, why? I was like, you're telling me my brother and I are going to go into a room with someone who wasn't even there. It's like, Your Honor, you weren't there. They weren't there. We're going to give them a whole bunch of pieces of paper, and we're going to talk it all out, and we're going to come up to a story, and we're going to make a conclusion. Then this person who wasn't there is going to give an answer, and then it's going to decide whether I go jail or not. And we're just all going to obey the answer, and it's the end. I was like, this is white head to toe. Like, black people do not think this way. Like, in Africa, if you have a disagreement with your neighbor, you just get, who's got a machete? Let's fix this, right? They'll just solve it. They'll say, I'll kill you. Okay, we'll draw the line here. Say, done. In white land, it's like, I'll sue you, buddy. I'll sue you, buddy. And then they spend 3 years of litigation and all their money, and then whoever loses goes, shucks. Oh, well. And just goes home. And just takes the L. I was like, what the fuck? This is the whitest idea ever. But that white mentality is so interesting. And it's interesting when you talk about, this is the problem with migration, because also this has come up where they're saying that if the migrants are Christian, it doesn't matter, or illegal migration versus illegal migration. The reason the white nationalists don't want too much legal migration, it's like, no, this is a white country because white people think and act a certain way. If we bring a whole bunch of people that don't think and act the same way, it causes problems with our complicated systems. And he's completely right. Because violence is very simple. And it's very cheap, and it's very fast. Whereas the white man's system is very complicated, and it's very expensive, and it takes a long time. And if you have it, and it's frustrating. If you don't have patience, court's not an answer. So, yeah, all of these things are interesting, and then you apply them towards political systems. I've been thinking long and hard about how amazing the American democracy is when I just said about court. that people just, well, before they rigged 2020, but in general, you lose, you win. Okay, you get to be the most powerful man in the world. In most countries, when you become the most powerful man in the world, you stay the most powerful man in the world.
Right.
Or in most nations, I'm the most powerful person. No one's taking this from me by hook or by crook. Kill me, or it's mine.
Right.
And if you don't kill me, it's my son's. That's how it works. But the American democracy is quite unique in fact that they'll just pass over this immense power to someone else.
Right.
It's kind of unique. And we say protect our democracy. They rigged it in 2020, but that's a unique scenario. But then you look at democracy and you look at how we just said governors get elected, politicians get elected by lying. Everyone's lying the whole way through. Elon Musk is should be treated a certain way, and he's not. You have a bunch of in Congress holding up stupid signs. A bunch of idiots doing fucking TikTok who are in Congress. Like, the whole democracy system's fucked. And the only alternative to that, I guess, is a dictatorship. And the dictatorship is kind of like a 50-50 bet on whether you get a good guy or a bad guy. Do you know Nigeria had more oil money than the United Arab Emirates? Nigeria had more oil than Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Why are they rich? Why are they richer? Nigeria's not poor, but why are they richer than Nigeria? Leadership.
Yeah.
Right.
One good dictator over a bad dictator. That's all it takes, one guy. So there's luck involved.
Probably difference in IQs too.
But he said it, not me. But it's super interesting. I looked up the Chinese system. The Chinese system is a lot different than people think it is because they think that they have Xi, who's in charge of everything, and he's the forever leader. That is true. But they do have some degree of democracy, actually. They have a democratic process where everyone could vote for all their political parties. Although Xi stays in charge, after all the parties are voted in, those parties are measured in numbers for how many, and each party stands for one thing. So you have a party for education, a party for defense, a party for the economy, a party for all the different things, and then everyone votes for all the different parties. And then when he sees how many people are in each party, he can see how much his people care about certain things. So he's the king, but his Senate, I guess you would call it, I don't know the ins and outs of Chinese politics, he would say, this voting round, they voted in a whole bunch of educational people because people are very concerned about the education system, so I'll address the educational system. That's kind of how the Chinese system works. But yeah, how do we even govern humans effectively? I don't know. It's difficult. It's hard. Democracy's fucked. Kingdoms are fucked. It's all cyclical. When you have a kingdom, it works great. And then when the king ends up being a dipshit, you get rid of him. And then you want democracy, it works great. Then you're up with Kamala, you want to get rid of it. You want king back. We all want King Trump. We all do. But we want the kingdom back. But then if another king comes in and it's not Trump, we don't want him. We want the democracy back. Like no one's ever fucking happy. They're trying to put me in jail. White people are going extinct. It's all fucked. I don't know what to do. It's all fucked. I'm just in Vegas talking on a podcast. I don't have the answers. I think we should fucking get Elon to keep building rockets and get us multi-planetary before this whole thing fucking blows up. That's what I think we should do. But people are crying their eyes out. The wife jacks are attacking him on Twitter because he fucks and has kids. Imagine that. No, guys, imagine this. I saw conservative accounts saying he had a kid out of wedlock. You fucking dipshit. He puts rockets in the fucking on Mars, and you're crying he hasn't got a piece of paper for his 15th kid. Who the fuck cares? Like bigger picture. Fucking wife jack. Dumbass.
How you come with that term, wife jack?
Because these are dudes who just obey their wives. They're scared of their woman. They're so scared of their woman. They're scared they're going to check his Twitter replies in future and find something he said that wasn't 100% supportive of his wife being his fucking boss. It's ridiculous. And they're always white. They're always white guys. No black guys on there like, oh, we need a marriage certificate. Never. Not alive. Not one. It's always some fucking white dude complaining at Elon, another white man, for saving the human race because he didn't have a fucking marriage certificate. Or crying at me for having babies. Let me tell you something, white people. I'm a day walker. If I have a kid with a black woman, they're black. If I have a kid with a white woman, they're white. Trust me, I've done it. I can make both. So you should be happy I'm making more white babies than you've ever fucking made. You should be glad. And they're crying their eyes out because I'm reproducing your race because you won't fucking get your dick out. I've heard white men brag about using birth control. I've heard white men brag.
That's crazy.
I've heard white men brag.
He's going off now.
I've heard white men brag. Bro, she's on the pill, man. We just do whatever we want. She's on the pill, bro. Is that good? You're bragging that you can just bust nuts into dead pussy? You're happy about that? You fucking idiot. Why the fuck you fucking if she won't get pregnant? The whole point is that maybe she'll get pregnant. All your side bitches should have a maybe involved that makes it fun. Maybe she gets pregnant. Maybe you get caught. Maybe you block them all. It's fun. It's the fucking excitement of it. White people, I know white guys who will get a vasectomy on purpose to fuck.
Is a fucking
Gay.
crash out.
It's fucking.
Ain't nobody slicing my nuts.
There ain't a black man alive who's like, oh, I better be more responsible. Make sure I don't have any children. Fucking gay. So white people are weird. I'm producing more white babies than any of these wife jacks because their wife jacks say, we have the 2, Steve. That's enough. And that's why they're mad at me because I have a whole fucking army of white children. They're furious. And my white children have a tinge of black, a small tinge. So when their son finally meets my son in the schoolyard and he morphs like Wolverine into enough to bust him up, he's going to be fucking furious when he catches the 1-2.
Yeah.
He's like, where did he learn that slip? It's genetic. It's genetic.
Yeah.
So, bro, I'm telling you, white people need to stop listening to women. Basically, that's my conclusion. Stop listening to girls.
Yeah.
Just stop listening to girls. They have all these opinions, but it doesn't matter. Just ignore it all and do whatever the fuck you want. And have a whole bunch of children. That's what you should do.
Yeah, women, when they come on ideas, they're trying to reinvent the wheel, and you don't have to do it.
100% you don't.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, when it comes to children, because I get this about kids a lot, and I understand kids can be expensive, but the truth is kids are not expensive. Kids are fucking cheap. Women are expensive. Bro, kids are cheap. Bro, do you know the poorest people in the world have kids? Kids
A bunch of kids.
The kids are cheap.
Yeah.
Kids need $10 of food a week.
Yeah.
And 2 T-shirts. You want the Gucci. You want the Gucci.
Right. Yeah.
But then also, I know in America, you have a whole bunch of these laws that are all fucked up. If I lived in America and I want to continue my repopulation spree, I would just every summer go to Warsaw and have a whole bunch of kids with supermodels.
You'll be crazy to have a kid with someone in America.
Well, we'll see how it goes. But I'm trying to get all the flavors. I want a Chinese kid. I want a little kung fu expert.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him in a Shaolin camp. I want to go to Sudan and get one of them 7-foot-tall Dinka women. I'm going to have one of them. Yeah. I'm going to have try. It's going to be hard to get. I don't know. I'm going to pull it off. It's not my type, really. But close my eyes and imagine a Barbie doll. Get a Dinka one. I'm going to. India. No, we'll skip India. I'll, fuck that. No one cares about that. I've got enough white ones. I got Russian ones. I got Moldovan ones. I got Romanian ones. I got the strong white type. You know, I got them.
Right,
I got British ones. So I'm gonna do it all. I've got some black ones coming. I got
How
mixed.
about Colombia's down in South America? Those women.
Maybe. You know. Did you know there's only 5 races in the world?
Yeah, pretty much, huh?
Yeah.
Because they call Mexicans, all they are Indians, Native Americans. Natives.
So
All the way down to South America, all those fuckers look the same.
well, to me. Why am I even getting myself in this much trouble? I don't know. I can't help it. Tristan, this is your chance to stop me. All right, you didn't stop me. So there's only 5 races in the world. You got whites, blacks, Chinese, and then you got Mexicans, and then you got, well,
Latinos.
Pakistanis. No, you got,
but those are Mexicans, Native Americans, whatever you want to call them. They all look the same, whether you're in an Arabic country or you're in North America.
no, but Mexico,
Same skin color
but
and
Mexico downwards, all of it is just kind of Mexico, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
they-
if a
natives-
Guatemalan's breaking into your car and you call the police and they say, describe him, you say,
Mexican.
there's a Mexican breaking into my car. No?
Right. You don't say it's a Native American.
You don't say, oh, I think he might be from, maybe from Argentina. No, you're going to say he's fucking Mexican. There's a Mexican breaking into my fucking car. So that's all Mexico to me. Mexico and down is all just Mexico.
Right. Argentina, Venezuela, it's all
It's all
Mexico.
just Mexico to me. He's like, and I'm sure they believe there's differences. I'm sure. there is.
Right.
In fact, I know there's differences because they're the most racist motherfuckers alive. You seen how a Nicaraguan hates a Guatemalan who hates a Mexican? We talk about racism in America. They fucking all hate. Everyone hates each other everywhere. Newsflash, guys. The British hate the Scottish. The British hate the Irish. Everyone hates everyone. That's just how it goes. It's just everyone hates
They're all
everybody.
united here
We're
in
all
America.
one big happy family united by hate.
Yeah.
Get over it. Everyone hates everyone. We hate people from the next town.
Right,
What city you from? Reno? Gay. That's just how it is.
Right.
I don't know why everyone's so upset about it. I think it's hilarious.
Right.
I'm just here along for the ride. But
Have you heard about Trump's gold card?
oh yeah, that $5 million gold card.
Yeah, what is
You
that?
get to come here and move here, be a citizen of the United States.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you get preferential treatment. Just come here. You paying for your citizenship. A little bunch of Jews in there.
Yeah, I think so. But they were
All
coming
are
in,
going to be Jewish.
bro. They were coming in anyway.
Yeah,
So,
I already know.
I think that's what he's trying to do. I mean, if he stops the unchecked immigration, that's a fantastic idea. The problem America had, the biggest problem, the reason that it had such an issue was that it had a dual-tongued problem, was that getting in legally was so fucking hard, and getting in illegally was so fucking easy.
Easy, right?
So if you're gonna make
Right.
getting in illegally nearly impossible and getting in illegally so easy, I can't remember who did it. Who was the one who? I think his name was Bald and Bankrupt. I don't know if you ever saw it. He trekked the Dorian Pass. He did it. He got and tried to get into America illegally and showed how it all worked. It was super interesting. But everyone's talking about how many Chinese were coming in. How many Chinese were coming in illegally? How the fuck do you even get out of communist China and get to Mexico?
Right.
How do you even do that? I don't know. I don't know if they're sent by the government.
Right.
I don't know. Who knows?
I think I forgot we interviewed this guy. There's a bunch of NGOs funding everybody across the world to come here. It's our own government funding these people.
Mike Benz. Gee. All right. So this is my point. And I love Trump, and I think he's a hero. But who the fuck are these NGOs, and why are they not in jail? This is treason.
Yeah.
This is fucking high treason. And it's these same liberal NGOs, by the way, that are fucking launching law attacks on me. By the way, every time I find myself in court, the lawyers on the other side are sponsored by a liberal NGO. It's these same liberal NGOs that control the news that keep trying to convince everyone I'm a bad guy. The same people who are ruining the entire genetic makeup of our nation are the same people trying to get rid of me. They're the same people. Who the fuck are these people? I haven't even got to the bottom of it yet. Who are these people? Why does no one know who these people are? We dismantled USAID. You know what was really interesting? Every time my brother and I walked in and out of court, there was like fucking 500 cameras. Every time, from all around the world, asking us stupid questions. Like, I've been to court 50 times across 3 years. Are you a rapist? I was like, bitch, how much do you get paid? That's the best question you can get. I've been asked this 1,000 times. You finally get 3 seconds of me, and that's what you ask. Are you a hard? Like, that's the best you can come up with? No, you silly bimbo. The fuck? Idiot. Fucking, you ain't got to worry anyway because you're fucking ugly. So when USA got
you have
this...
such a great message, right? But then you ruin it. That's why people love you so much, because you say what you want to say and you don't care who it offends.
If you're going to rape someone, you're not going to rape an ugly fucking troll reporter.
Right.
So she's safe. So what's she fucking asking for? So when USAID got dismantled, all of the cameras stopped coming. So I said to Tristan, this is the first time we've ever come to court. There's no cameras. And before that, I said to him, every time we went to court, I was like, who's paying for this? These are cameras from all around the world. Who's flying in news crews from all these different countries to come and stand outside of a Romanian court to get 2-second glimpse of us?
That's wild.
Who's flying these in? Who's paying for their hotels, their flights, their wages? These people need to eat. Who's paying for this? What are they getting? Me and you walking in out of court not saying a word? No one's even interested in this story anymore. This story's 3 years old. It's fucking boring to me and you, and we're in it. They only keep pushing it on the news to try and slander our name. No one even wants to hear it, but they won't stop mentioning it, not because we're guilty, because in fact we're innocent, and they know we're going to walk, and they have to do as much damage as they can before we get out of it. Who's paying for these people? And then when Elon started dismantling USAID, one day we went to court, no cameras, not one. I was like, what the fuck? Bro, the matrix runs deep. It's scary. But so whoever these NGOs are, who the fuck are these people? Who are they? They need to be held up on TV and forced to explain what they're doing. Because they would be in other nations. If there was an NGO in Russia that was subverting the Russian state and they got hold of them, you think they wouldn't be on TV explaining to Putin and apologizing?
Right.
Because they fucking would.
Yeah.
They'd be sitting there saying, I was sent by this guy and I'm sorry. They'd be explaining everything. Here, they're probably still fucking running. They're still operating. Oh, USAID's gone. They're getting money from somewhere else. They're still going to the office.
Yeah, not only NGOs, churches. Catholic Church was getting paid.
Well, this is the thing. What do we say about Trojan horsing? Using a Trojan horse. Tolerance, forgiveness, love for all. The most beautiful things about Christianity. They throw in a Trojan horse. And the Trojan horse is this unchecked, unlimited migration to anybody from anywhere, even if they're a fucking criminal, and forgive them for murdering people. It's okay. And this is the thing. All the best ideas in the world, they attack and they infiltrate like a virus in a cell. So yeah, I guarantee they're using churches, and they're going into churches with good-minded people who believe they're doing the good thing and convincing them to help Chinese people flee oppression and travel through the forest and turn up here illegally. And then you add in the fact that it's so hard to get in legally, and you had this massive migration problem. As for Trump's issue, as for the gold cards, I think it's actually a very good idea.
Yeah, he's trying to raise money.
Well, he's trying to raise money, but I think it's a good idea because a lot of countries do this, by the way. Citizenship by price.
Right, Dubai does that, right?
Say again?
Dubai?
Dubai does it. Loads of Caribbean nations do it.
Right, yeah.
Turkey does it. Malta does it. Montenegro does it. I think Hungary may do it. Loads of countries do this. This is not uncommon. It's very, very common. In fact, the $5 million price tag is very high. Most countries is like $300-400 grand.
Right.
You can buy an apartment for $300-400 Gs. You don't even got to give them the money. You can get an apartment out of it and then get a residency or a citizenship. So I think it's a very good idea. I think he should promote it as long as he can stop all the other methods of immigration happening. But who's going to be buying that? I don't know. If I was in charge of America, what I would be doing, if I was Trump, I'd be offering instant citizenship or instant green cards to all of the members of Europe, all of the natives of Europe who retired with their communistic governments. That's what I'd do. Because it was the best of Europe that built America in the first place.
Yeah.
And
what do you think is the best immigrant for America? If you had to pick one immigrant. One ethnicity.
Trying to get him in trouble.
No, just we realists, right? Yeah.
Shit. No, I think that if you look at the fabric of America, if you look at it from its base, it was built by white Europeans which were unhappy with their governments.
Right.
And I think that right now, all the white Europeans are very unhappy with their governments. They're living under Stalinistic, communistic governments where you can't speak, where you're being replaced ethnically, where your streets are not safe, where your taxes are higher than America, crime's out of control, drugs are out of control, everything's lost its mind. If I was Trump, or if I was in charge of America, I'd say, we're going to offer green cards or residency to any white ethnically European person who is tired of their government who wants to start again in America, because that's what built America in the first place. And I think that would give it a resurgence. And I guarantee you get 40 to 50 million hardworking white European ancestry people turning up here. I think that'd be a fantastic thing for America and to teach Europe a lesson, because Europe's going to have a massive brain drain and they're going to have a wealth flight, which is what they're already suffering from. Every rich person in England's trying to leave. Norway has the same problem. They just set up a huge exit tax, trying to take exit tax. America has exit tax too.
Right.
But they're setting up these huge exit taxes because all of European nations are losing their rich and they're all running away. What's interesting is, guess where they're running to? They're running to Arab nations. They're running to Dubai. So it's actually funny. It's
With
funny.
the crazy
That makes
Muslims.
sense.
this
I
is
was
the
just
thing,
talking to
right?
a homie about
They'll
that.
live
That's
they'll
crazy.
complain about Muslims at home and then they'll go and want to live in Dubai, which is an Islamic country. The problem is not Islam. The problem is that it's a bunch of third world fucking idiots that we're
just
letting in,
talking
which are not
about that.
integrated. Do you think Dubai
the
puts up
exit
with
tax
bullshit
and
from
shit
Islamic
for the
extremists?
exit-
Do you think Dubai
exiting,
puts up with bullshit from
United
third world
States.
idiots who want to commit crime and rape? Fuck no. They'll chop your fucking head off. They'll chop your fucking head off, bro. So it's not Islam, because the Islamic nations have a stricter punishment for most of these
Like
crimes than in Europe.
surrendering your,
All these Islamic terror attacks in Europe, what happens to
your
the perpetrator?
citizenship.
He goes and sits in a room and eats 3 square meals a day. Why don't they do it in Dubai?
Right.
Because of the consequence.
Yeah.
Right? Did you ever see the Dubai foreign minister talk about this? You should look up that clip. The Dubai foreign minister said that you're going to have most of the Islamic extremism coming from Europe because they think they know Islam better than we do. So the problem is not Islam anyway. The problem is this third worldism and this insanity that we have.
Right.
And also the basic gender dynamics that we're refusing to address. If you allow in 10 million women, they're going to integrate with society because they're going to get knocked up. And their children are going to be half. That's it. If you really believe in immigration so deeply, then let all the women in. Women only. Let women in only. Make there to be 2 times as many women as men. Let men off the fucking leash. And let's make Americans. Done. Instead, they let in military-age males, which is the problem. Because if men turn up to a society and they can't get a job and they can't get paid and they're standing around in groups with their friends all day, how long is it until they commit crime? It's just a fucking time bomb. Yeah, like these people, they're just turning up and they can't work or whatever. And I'm talking from the European perspective more than the American, because I understand that more. But you letting a bunch of Syrians to England, they don't speak English. Who's going to fucking hire these people? Nobody.
They're
They're
letting
living,
a bunch of Africans into Europe,
yeah, just
right?
fucking the boats are just arriving and they're living off the taxpayer. And who's paying the taxes? The white guy. The white guy's doing his paperwork. Yeah.
So you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right.
Check their ass.
There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or
I don't know why this nigga look
assuming
AI
that
low
they
key.
know the Middle East and they know
but
Islam and they
this
know
real
the
nigga,
others
but
far
I don't know
better
why
than
he
we
look
do.
AI. That,
And
their quality
I'm
never
sorry,
looks
but
good.
that's pure ignorance.
You're right. So, like, Europe has a huge problem now, and they have a huge wealth flight. And I think America should be doing its best to get hold of as much of that wealth as possible. Those are the people that built this country. That's what we should be doing. As for the $5 million card, yeah, it's a good idea. Who's going to actually buy it? We're going to see. It's a good idea, but lots of countries do this. It's not even an uncommon idea.
Right.
It's not an uncommon idea. So I hope it works well for him. But I think he should. I think he should let the Europeans in, and the South Africans, everyone. If you're going to allow all these people come here, why not allow the people into the country which built it?
Yeah. Well,
Is it racist to say we don't bring in these third world countries, African, like people other than white people come in countries? Is it racist to say that?
Well, people will try and call it racist, but
Yeah.
as we've described earlier, it's just about a fundamental idea. A fundamental idea of how the world functions. If you're from a certain country, you understand law, you understand order, you understand systems, you understand certain things. And there's also very highly educated black countries and very highly educated Arabic countries.
There's highly educated black countries?
Yes, there are. Yeah, there are some. Yeah, like there's
Name one.
No,
I actually don't know.
No. There's some very rich African nations.
Okay.
There are some very rich African nations. Like Nigeria, like comparing Nigeria to the Central African Republic is not fair because Nigeria is actually quite a rich place.
Right.
Now, would you get a fair court in Nigeria? Probably fucking not.
Yeah.
But people kind of understand the idea of court, I'd like to believe, overall.
Okay.
Makes sense. I'm 37% Nigerian.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
But but what you have to do, but if you want to do this prudently, right? If you want to do this sensibly, which of course most people who are in charge of these things don't. If you want to integrate anything, don't you have to measure compatibility? I mean, isn't this a basic prerequisite to immigration? Let's
should be.
Let's forget everything that's happened so far and let's pretend we're a brand new nation and we want to explore the idea of immigration. Wouldn't it be prudent for us as intelligent adults to sit and measure compatibility? And if you're going to measure compatibility, shouldn't it be across cultures, across ideals of how the world works, across legal systems, across certain things?
It should be.
It should be.
Right.
But we're throwing all that out the window and saying racism, which is fucking dumb.
Yeah. Right.
So what we should do is sit there and go, okay, who understands work? Who's from a country where they probably paid some tax, so they understand taxes must be paid? Who's from a country where they have enough faith in the legal system to understand if they have a problem, it's better to go to court than try and solve it themselves? Like these basic things. And if you're going to do this, you're going to end up with people from European nations. The European natives understand all of these points. And they all want to leave. And we want people, I guess. So that seems like a good fit. Whereas in getting in people from completely different places who think completely differently, you can't blame them. But then you also can't blame us. And then you have this huge problem. Like, I guess the people who are very culturally different, though, who don't cause any problems are the Chinese. But the Chinese have their own systems, bro. The Chinese, I don't know about America, but I'll tell you, in London, the Chinese have their own police stations and everything. The Chinese have the whole Chinese society inside of London.
Right.
Like, the Chinese people go to the Chinese police.
Right. They even got Chinese side of town here in Vegas.
Chinatown, yeah.
Bro, the Chinese are scary.
Yeah.
Fuck the I'm scared of the Chinese.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the Chinese. Have you ever seen, bro, you in jail, the Chinese ever get picked on? Why does no one pick on the Chinese? Right. All right. So we got the FBI, we got the CIA, we got the Navy SEALs. England has MI6, MI5. Russia has FSB. Ukraine has SBU. We have all these secret services all around the world that commit terror attacks or they commit murder. What's the name of the Chinese Secret Service? I don't fucking know. You tell me a superpower hasn't got a secret service? You tell me the most secret motherfuckers on the planet ain't got a secret fucking service?
Yeah, right.
What are they even called? That's a secret service.
Right.
Motherfucker could be working in chow mein shop.
Right.
I don't even fucking know. I don't even know what they're called, these people.
Right, yeah.
But no one fucks with the Chinese ever.
Right.
Why is no one fucking with them?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
LeBron James don't even fuck with them.
bro. And every time fucking John Cena or whoever says something that offends them over Taiwan, remember him? Did you see his video?
Yeah.
He said Taiwan was a separate country to China.
Yeah.
Someone called him, Ching Chang called him. Before you know it, he's talking in fucking Chinese, fluent. They were like, you better learn it.
Right.
Okay, bro. The Chinese are scary, bro. I don't know what they're doing. Have you ever seen a Chinese person working for someone who's not Chinese?
No.
Have you ever seen a Chinese woman pregnant?
I don't think they get fat. I wouldn't know.
I don't know what's going on. But they have a big country with a lot of nukes, and none of us know what's going on. I think the Chinese government, they execute like 100,000 people a year. No one talks about it. No one knows. Yeah. They have the death penalty for everything. You can get the death penalty at random if you piss them off enough. They're just killing people. No one does shit. Streets are perfectly clean. Everyone's walking in a line. Drones are flying everywhere. Bro, like they're fucking... They got their shit right. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we have one man who's competing against them when it comes to complete global control, Elon. And then you got some fucking fat bitch full of tacos holding up a sign. Bro, this country's a joke. This country's a fucking joke, bro. It shouldn't even be allowed. It's crazy. But the Chinese are scary. They got their shit right, it seems. We're going to see how it all plays out. But if I had to guess how the world's going to work, if Trump had lost, it would have been over for the Western world.
Yeah.
If Trump had lost, it would have been over for the Western world. I thought America was back. I came back. Turns out Ron's still here, so it's not. But hopefully, in the short 4 years he has, and with our work, we can fix the culture, and perhaps we can keep America struggling on because it is struggling. Once America falls, I think Middle East is going to be in charge of the world for a while because Middle East has energy. I think that bin Salman, the leader of Saudi, is probably behind Putin and Trump, the third most powerful man in the world. I think the Middle East is going to be in charge, and after that, it's China's turn. And once China has control, add in AI and drones and all this other shit, it's going to be a scary world. It's going to be really scary. We're gonna see how it goes. Hopefully, I'll be gone by then.
Yeah.
But my sons better fucking start doing their push-ups because it's gonna be different. They'll be fighting kung fu in the mountains against the motherfucker. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard.
How many sons you got?
A few. I don't say how many kids I have online ever.
Oh, okay.
I don't because I've got enemies, and some of my kids have been found, and there's a bunch of weirdos that are really trying to like harass the mothers and harass the kids.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a school of fish. It's protectionism through numbers, right?
Right.
So if they know how many I have, they know how many they have to find.
Right.
But now they're down a rabbit goose chase trying to find as many as they can, and they
Okay,
they
I
find
get
some, but they're like, I know there's more, but how many is there? So even if they found them all, I like the idea of them wasting their time looking for new ones that don't exist, just to try and waste some of their time. So
Right.
a lot,
Makes sense.
a lot. Yeah, my future security team in 20 years will be my sons.
Yeah.
That's my plan.
Awesome.
That's
man.
my plan.
Hey, have you ever met Trump? You haven't met him, have
I've not met Trump yet. And you know, one of the things I want to make clear is that I'm worried about meeting Trump because I don't want them to use me against him. Because they would. Even though I've done nothing wrong, I've not been convicted. I'm such a Trump fan that I would hate the idea of meeting him because I genuinely believe he's a fantastic president. And them attacking him via him just simply shaking my hand. That would actually upset me a bit.
Yeah.
But also, Trump's a real he's built different.
Right.
So if he doesn't give a single fuck, I'd love to meet him. But I'm aware if he were to say I would get it. I would get why he'd be hesitant,
real
perhaps.
shit,
I don't know.
though.
But maybe he's just at the point where he doesn't give a shit what these idiots say. I like to believe so.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I'm in his ear, I'll be like, let's find the NGOs, Trump. Fucking get it. You don't want me as an advisor. I'll have everyone up there.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
Well, he met Nick Fuentes met him, so. I mean, if Nick and Kanye can meet him,
That's true.
Andrew Tate Smith, I've met him.
Yeah?
Yeah, took a picture with him. Yeah.
No, Trump's a hero. I mean, he's the best. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
But I think Trump's a hero. And compared to the alternative.
The only reason why I was able to meet him, man, because I got white friends. Because he was dodging me like the plague.
Oh, you're telling me Dwayne didn't know him?
He didn't even know who I was. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then one of my friends, Jason, called me and said, y'all, I got y'all to go see Trump. I said, man, thank you. I've been trying to meet him for the longest. And when we met him, it lived up to my expectations. He's such a genuine, nice dude.
Bro, that actually is a good way to see how fucked up this world is. And Twitter's the perfect example of how fucked up the world is. Yeah. You scroll Twitter, people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk are hated. How can you hate Elon Musk?
Right.
How
women. It's women.
It's women. It's women and men who listen to their women.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Wife people.
Swaps.
Wife jacks.
Wife jacks. I said wife swaps. It's wife jacks.
No, you know what? Wife swap might be a good one.
Yeah.
Because they ain't far off.
Yeah.
But
they swapping.
Yeah, swapping roles.
They're cooking wives.
Elon bought Twitter. He lets you have an account. He lets you speak freely, and you turn on him. Like when Elon was getting all that hate over the H-1B1 visas, remember when he said about letting in Indian people, all the H-1B1. I personally disagree with him. But when I saw everyone attack him, hey, fucking Elon, I was just like, even though I personally disagree with him, I don't know how you motherfuckers were raised. I just feel like it's his platform, and you should just talk a little bit nicer. Just make your point a little bit nicer. It's his. And he's graceful enough to let you do it. He's a better man than me. I would have fucked his block. Yeah. Ban, change to a flag on top. But I would have fucking fucked it all. I'd have made their profile pictures permanently, I'm a homo.
Yeah.
But,
it's crazy. He spent billions of dollars for people to talk shit about him.
Bro, and it's just like people have no respect anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I disagree with them on that. But in general, Trump, Elon, these are heroes. And the fact that they're not talked about the same way George Washington is in America is sad. They deserve in their lifetimes to be treated like heroes, not only when they're gone. I think they're really saving the world.
I think what got Elon in trouble, he had Vivek right there beside him. Let's talk about those bringing Indians over. Like you can't find Americans for these jobs. Yeah.
You know, Indians... do I go down this path?
I think they're the breadwinners in our country. Yeah, as far as annual salary.
They work hard, but I think universally they have a stigma attached to them that nobody likes, Indians. But I think a lot of it is also socioeconomic class. Like if you get the high-level Indians, of course, they're different than if you get the street Indians. It's the same thing with anywhere. It's the same if you get a high-level American and a street American. They're very different people. Yeah. But immigration in general is the lowest quality of people trying to leave. Like when I lived in Romania has like 19 million people and 6 million Romanians live abroad. Everyone leaves Romania, or they used to. And when you see Romanians abroad, a lot of them are thieves or pickpockets or they steal. Whereas Romania is so beautiful and nice. And I say, why is all the thieves stealing abroad and not here? He goes, well, if you want to leave Romania, it's because you're broke. Rich Romanians love Romania. The rich ones stay. It's the broke ones who have to leave for money.
Right.
So that's also part of the problem. Like if you got the high-level Indians, if everyone was smooth talking like Vivek, I'm sure it would be okay. But if they're shitting in the street, There's a problem, you know? Like, it is what it is. Yeah.
Hey, do you think America's the best place to live? Because you've traveled the globe. Is there any truth to that?
Okay, so to answer this question professionally, it depends who you are. And it depends where you are at your station of life. I think America is the best place to live in some ways, but in other ways known. If you're unknown, if you're not really particularly known, but you're law-abiding with a meager or moderate income, there's much better places to live. Like if you lived in Thailand and you're not that well known, but you're making some money online and you're law-abiding in general, you'd have a much better life in Thailand than you ever would anywhere in America. But if you're a high-profile person who's going to be lawfare attacked, then you want to be in at least the American legal system, than the Romanian legal system or the Thai legal system. I mean, although this one's rigged, it's the best chance you got. So it kind of depends who you are. Is America the land of opportunity like it used to be? A bit, but I would argue that the internet is the land of opportunity now. I think all the money's made online, and you can amplify your money. You can certainly make your money go a lot further in a lot of other places. So if you're making a bit of money online and you leave America, all of a sudden you become rich. Dubai's fantastic because there's no taxes as well. 0% income tax. Wow. So Dubai is huge competition because Dubai is a fantastic place to live. If you just want to live a life where you have no crime, no stress, no taxes, I mean, it's a great place to live. Just don't ever get on the wrong side of the law because you're fucking toast. You're toast. But if you behave yourself, then you should have a great time there. Like they've got clubs, parties, beautiful girls, nice buildings. It's really a great place. The paparazzi's illegal. No one can follow you around. No one can hassle you. No one can, like, it's controlled, but they've done a good job with it. So
you can't even spit on the street there?
No, you can't. If you get caught doing that, you can get in trouble. They're very strict. But I mean, there's no free speech there either. There's no free speech anywhere, depending what you talk about, right?
But Muslims are like naturally conservative.
They are,
conservative leaning.
Exactly. So if we had this podcast, if you have a podcast in Dubai, you can say whatever you want because everything you say are things they already agree with, but you couldn't have a liberal podcast in Dubai. But then in America, if you talk about certain subjects like the Jews, you get in a lot of trouble. So every country has its off-limits things.
Right.
So I would say that Eastern Europe used to be fantastic 7 or 8 years ago. Now it's changing because it's joined the EU and it's becoming Stasi like the rest of Europe. Europe's beautiful to visit, but to live there, it's shit. So America's probably one of the top places to live, depending who you are. If you're well-known, I think America's one of the best places, America or Dubai. Those are the two best places. But if you're not well-known and you're making a little bit of money, especially online, I would say that Thailand or something is one of the best places to live. You get a nice little house for pennies. Yeah, and endless
looking
girls.
At real estate out there.
Yeah?
Yeah, Kevin's been.
No, it's
He got a coworker who's been out there. He said he loved it.
No, Thailand's awesome. Dubai was the best real estate investments I've ever made, but not now. Now they're very expensive. But 4 years ago, I bought a house in Dubai, and it's doubled. It's doubled and some in 3.5 years. Crazy.
Wow, 3.5 years.
Yeah, because of the Ukraine-Russia war. So all the Ukrainians and all the Russians were putting their money in Dubai. So, and they all want the luxury shit. So all the houses went through the roof.
Wow.
And there's no taxes to buy, no taxes to sell, no taxes on the rent, no inheritance tax, nothing. You just buy it, it's yours, done.
Damn.
And you can pay in crypto.
Damn.
It's pretty easy.
Sounds like true freedom.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Like Dubai is weird where you feel so free, but it's actually a very controlled society. But you feel so free, but there's just certain things you cannot do.
Just don't break the law.
Just don't break the law, yeah. But I actually, when you talk about that subject, it's an interesting one because the idea of a law-abiding citizen is something we all like to think of ourselves as. The problem is, and every single person at home watching this needs to understand, that it's impossible in the West to be a law-abiding citizen because none of you have read the fucking law. I haven't read it. Neither of you. Right. No one has read the law. So I am prepared to live in a controlled state like Dubai where I know what the law is. The problem with the West is our laws are so subjective that everybody is permanently innocent and permanently guilty. Look at Trump. They got him on some bullshit.
34 felons.
Yeah, 34 felons. Oh, he made this transfer. He lied about this. Bullshit. Subjectivity. Our laws are so subjective that they can hit anybody with anything. And I'll tell you from the human trafficking perspective, I thought human trafficking was beating a girl up, putting her in chains, dragging her to somewhere else, chaining her up, blah, blah, blah. But they're saying, no, human trafficking is convincing someone to move somewhere else so you can financially benefit. I'm like, what, hiring somebody? What, convincing somebody to move somewhere else so you can financially benefit? That's what McDonald's does to its fucking workers. Come here to work and I'll give you money. That's human trafficking effectively. And they're saying that I human trafficked with the Loverboy method. Do you know what that is? Being nice. Oh, so I said, hey, yeah, sure, no problem. I'll work together. Yeah, you want a handbag? No problem. I'll buy you a handbag. So because I was nice to her and I financially incentivized her because I bought her a present, I'm a human trafficker.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. My point is they can apply that to anyone. Have you ever bought a girl a present? Boom, you're a human trafficker. So, and they did try to do it with Matt Gaetz. I looked at a little bit into his file. They're saying, oh, he paid her because he gave her a handbag or some dumb shit. You can't buy a girl a present. If you don't buy her a present, you're an abusive misogynist. And if you buy it, you're a fucking human trafficker. What did I say about the dualities they put on top of everything on purpose to make it impossible to exist as a man? So every single man in the West is permanently guilty. So the point I'm making is that Dubai is a police state, but you know what the law is. Don't insult Islam. Cool. I know the law. Problem with the West, you don't even know what the fucking law is. They can get you at any time, any way they want by making it up. It's going to be very interesting to see what the Florida AG pulls out of his ass. And when he does, please remind the public, I've been in Florida for 8 days in my entire life. So what the fuck is he going to come up with? I sat in my house and did Patrick Bet-David's podcast. That's it. But I guarantee he comes up with something. And it's going to be some subjective bullshit, semi-attached to some ancient bullshit. That's the problem we have here. So I love the idea of being a law-abiding citizen. We all do. But how can you abide by laws you don't know? And how can you abide by laws that change via their subjectivity anytime the fucking Matrix wants when you become enemy of the state? So you can't.
I can't get around that human trafficking because if I paid a prostitute, say I'm in California, I paid a prostitute come from D.C. and I paid her and had sex, that's human trafficking. That's crazy.
Well, she came willingly. But if it's your girlfriend and you pay for her to come out there, it's not human trafficking.
No, it still is.
It still is.
No. If your girlfriend flies across state and you give her money and some presents, and then she goes to the police and say, I had sex with him, but I feel like he manipulated me or he tricked me into it. How did he trick you? He was very charming and nice. And
I gotta stop on that. I gotta talk on that one. Yo, like real shit. This something I can really say. When it comes to like escorts and shit. When it comes to escorts, they be looking at them and be like, oh, you know, they could be like sex traffic because they have bookings. They go from one location to another location. So that could be considered a sex traffic, but they do filming and they do this, they do that. So it's like at the same time, it does actually get subjective because one person can do this and do that. But then if this person does this, it's actually bad, but then this woman is actually doing it, and I actually know a woman that actually does it, and she's actually famous. She does that, and she has a booking, and she goes through city to city, and people book, and then they come to her to do whatever the fuck it's supposed to be, whatever, shooting a fucking goddamn scene to goddamn doing a photo shoot. It don't really matter, but to me, looking at it like that looked like it's not really even like human trafficking for real. But I just had to jump in and say that.
He gave me some presents. So he tricked you by being charming, nice, and giving you money. Yeah. Okay, human trafficking. You get human trafficking. You will get a human trafficking charge for that.
That's how I feel about the Diddy case. I know he's an asshole. That's why they released that video. But really, is he guilty of that? Because we all are guilty of it.
When I'm thinking human trafficking, I was thinking you're taking women against their will across the board.
No. But this is a key point. Against their will. Remember, women are girl bosses, plus our equals, plus children. It is against her will because you tricked her by being nice to her. You tricked her by buying her presents. So they're saying it's against her will because she was brainwashed by you because you were charming and you gave her a financial incentive. So they will say in a court that you tricked her into coming and having sex with you via the lover boy method, which is being nice. Do you understand that nobody here hasn't human trafficked? Everybody. So why do they only arrest certain people for this? Because they know everyone's permanently guilty. They want us to live under a government, which is why they hate Elon for trying to remove the laws. They like having so many laws that nobody can read, nobody can understand. So everybody is permanently guilty all of the time, so they can pluck and choose who they want to convict. Everyone here is guilty. Everybody. They just pluck and choose who they want to convict. They don't want anyone to be living in a point of innocence where they can't get them. That's why they keep the law so subjective. That's why it's so fucking large. That's why it's impossible to understand. The good thing about Dubai is you know the law. You can just read it and go, okay, these laws are strict, but I know what they are. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Cool. So the West is really dangerous, and it's especially scary to be a man. And they use women for all of this. This is why they say I hate women, because I talk against feminism, because they think I'm a woman hater. It's not that. I understand that feminism is a tool they're using to wreck men's lives endlessly and to control men so that we can't resist enslavement endlessly. So yes, I'm against feminism, because feminism isn't about equality for women. It's about destroying society, destroying men, and putting all of us at the mercy to girl boss bullshit. Putting all of us at the mercy to endless charges on garbage. How can you get consent to have sex with a woman if she can retrospectively remove it? How can you get consent if she can take it away when she wants afterwards?
Right.
Then you never get it. You can never own it. It's never yours. She can say, yes, I consent, and sign here, change her mind, even after she signed. She can change her mind, go to the police. Even if you win the case because you had the contract, you will still be charged. You will still go to court. You will still have legal fees. You will still have your reputation slandered. They will still call you a rapist. You'll still be over the news. You still get perp walked. All of it. Because she changed her mind years later because you didn't buy her a handbag. And if you do buy her a handbag, you're manipulating her because you're a human trafficker. You can't fucking win. And they don't want you to be able to win. It is a quagmire that makes it impossible to win on purpose. The only way to win is to not talk to another fucking woman alive. Just don't talk to them ever again. And that's also a large reason white people are fucking going extinct, because a lot of them are checked out of bitches. A lot of them have just woken up and go, nah. And they just quit because it's impossible to navigate it, right? So it's truly incredible, but none of it is accidental. All of it is done on purpose. And when they attack me with this human trafficking crap, the fact that they did it directly after COVID, on the same day that the Epstein files were first released, they arrested my brother and I. So all of the, when Epstein, it wasn't his Epstein file, what was it?
Epstein's banking connections, all the banks Epstein used and all the people who ran his banking accounts, the names were released on exactly the same morning they arrested us.
So when you typed in human trafficking, it only showed our names, not Epstein.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the fact that after COVID, after they lied about Trump, after he's a convicted felon, after all the lies they say in the media, and they're still slandering my brother and I, they still have endless energy to print bad, terrible things about my brother and I, even though we've never been convicted of any crime ever. And there's people still at home who seem to believe that because we bought a girl a handbag, we're bad people. But these people are just fucking sheep who deserve the slavery that's going to be bestowed upon them by the Matrix. If you're going to sit there and think that Andrew and Tristan deserve to go to fucking jail for buying their baby mama's a handbag, you deserve to be a fucking slave. And you will be. Because when people like us are gone, all that's left are pussies like you, and pussies like you can't resist. Like, the people who hate me don't realize I'm fighting for their freedom along with everyone else's. But they're never going to fucking wake up. So it is what it is. But it's truly scary, the Western world and how it operates and how femme-centric it's become. Because it's basically a matriarchy now. If a woman says something, it's almost gospel. It's fucking incredible. It's almost gospel now if a woman says something. If a man says something, no one cares.
It's mansplaining.
Well, and also, women are not responsible for any of their own decisions ever, ever, ever. And men are responsible for absolutely everything. If you marry a crazy bitch, I'll say, why'd you marry that crazy bitch? Whereas no one will say, no, if she marries an abusive man, they won't be like, why'd you marry an abusive man? He was beating you up before you got married. They'll say he's a predator. They'll blame the man all the time. It's all the man's fault all the time. Right? So I'm just saying, if this is the case, I'm not saying we should even change it. I'm just saying, if we're going to live in a world where women have no accountability and no responsibility and nothing they ever do is their own fault, then they should listen to men. And if they're not going to listen to us, then they're responsible for their own shit. I'm perfectly fine with equality. Now you're equal. Pay your own fucking bills. Go on, pay your own bills and look after your fucking self. Before you know it, you realize they don't want equality at all. They want a big, strong, rich misogynist who's going to pay for their shit. That's what they've always wanted. It's crazy.
Well, there was a lot of rumors about Jeffrey Epstein that he was actually working for Mossad, a Jewish agent, blackmailing all the politicians here in America.
I think that it would be prudent to assume that anybody who had intel on politicians anywhere in the world would be working with a competing intelligence agent somewhere else. And you could argue that Mossad is not a competing intelligence agency to the American one, but that would be very foolish. All intelligence agencies are competing. The Americans and the British spy on each other. So even if we remove the whole Jewish conspiracy thing, because that's what they're going to say, we're conspiratory. Let's be sensible. Anybody who has intel on American politicians, the most valued politicians on the planet, is going to be an intelligence asset for basically any other intel agency on the planet. The Chinese are going to want him. The Russians are going to want him. The Israelis are going to want him. Everyone's going to want him.
Because he can be manipulated.
Because he can be manipulated, and he knows things. So if we could find some kind of tedious link to the Israelis through Epstein, which I'm sure would not be too hard to do. I'm sure it already exists. Then you would argue, of course he worked for Mossad. Of course he was an intel agent.
Right.
You'd be
Matt
a fool
Gaetz
to believe
said it.
otherwise.
Matt Gaetz said it, but he didn't
He
say it was
implied it.
Israel. I just fill in the blanks.
Yeah, he implied it.
Yeah.
He implied it.
And
He
all
said-
the Republicans run around, oh, the Clintons killed him. Because they believe everything Fox News says.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it was the Clintons, but it was certainly somebody. But that was actually a turning point for the world, the Epstein assassination, because before that, they lied to us. Before that, they used to have to try and hide what they were going to do. I feel like before Epstein, it was far more. They would try and subvert us. They would tell big lies and try and trick us into doing what they wanted to do. And the smart ones would know they're lying, but most of the sheep would know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, the Epstein thing put them in a very difficult situation because they sat around in a room somewhere and said, okay, he's in jail. If we kill him, they're going to know we killed him. We can't do that. They're going to know. And they're like, yeah, but we have to. And there was two competing sides. One side saying we literally can't kill him. They're going to find out. And the other side saying, well, we have no choice, so we have to do it. And then they killed him, expecting riots, expecting mass backlash. And they got memes. So they sat there and go, oh, so they all know we did it, and they didn't do shit.
Yeah.
So now let's just carry on doing shit that they know we're doing, like rigging elections, like lying about fucking COVID. Let's just fucking continue to just do shit that they know we made up. Let's steal the money for transgender parrots in Tanzania. Let's just fucking just do it all in broad daylight because these people won't do a fucking thing about it.
Because most people are sheep.
Most people are sheep. So they learned after that point that they can do whatever the fuck they want and we won't do shit. I feel like since that day, they've just been a lot more open with what they're doing. Anyone who believes they're sending $100 million to transgender parents in Tanzania is a fucking retard. They're stealing your money. And they're stealing your money. And these people are now sitting at home going, okay, they caught us stealing the money. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's take 0.001% of it and pay for some protesters to stick up for not finding the money we steal. Let's get some white women and put them outside and give them $50 a day to start complaining that we're finding the money. And they'll go stand outside all day and their church is paying their expenses. Their church is paying their expenses for the day to stick up against the tyranny of Elon Musk. And they stand up there and say, no, Elon's bad. So they can continue to fucking rape the system. Now it's very obvious what they're doing. The problem with that is we're only one stage now from force because typically you deceive. Let's apply it to something everyone at home understands. Let's apply it to a relationship, something everyone at home understands. You're a man, you're with a woman. You're cheating on your woman. You try and hide it. At first, you try and deceive. Eventually, you get caught and you just start telling her straight, yep, I'm cheating on you. If she continues to be a problem and you're never going to break up, the only step left from that is for you to continue doing it and use force. That's when you start hitting her and being abusive. So we're now at a stage now in society where they're going to continue to do whatever the fuck they want. They're going to do it right open in front of us. And if we're too much of a problem, they're going to do what they did to me. They're going to attack you. Lawfare. They no longer lie and deceive. Now they just do it in the open. And if you talk about it, you catch a case. That's the new paradigm. So, like January 6th. We rigged the election. We know we did. Yo, you're complaining. Jail. So it's a very scary world to live in now unless Trump fixes everything. And he has a monumental task ahead of him. But now they're going to continue to do whatever the fuck they want. And anyone who highlights it too much and talks too tough like me is going to catch cases. And then you're going to go to court. A fair court of law with a judge, and you get fucking wrecked. Because if the Matrix is gonna, I mean, let's be prudent, let's be smart. This is why I said it was so amazing. I beat my Romanian case because actually, I think Romania, in many ways, although they fucked me, was kind of a good place to get a criminal case because the judges are not ideologically aligned left and right. They're all right. All Romanians are conservative. So they don't give a shit. I say women can't drive because they know women can't drive. They don't care. Right? So I felt like in many ways I had a fairer chance in Romania than I do in America, to be honest. If I get some liberal fucking judge, I'm fucking toast. Right? So if you're going to set up a hit job on someone, let's say you're going to plan to kill somebody. You're going to plan how to drive there, how to break into their house, but when you get to kill them, you're not going to bring a gun because you didn't plan that part. No, you're going to plan the whole thing the whole way fucking through. So how are you going to plan to set someone up, perp walk him, put him on the news, lie about him, come up with a fake charge, and then put it in court and not predict the ending? You're going to leave it up to what? Guessing? Fate?
Right.
Fuck no. You know, and they're going to say, oh, we choose the jury. Yeah, the jury's influenced because the jury's all influenced by the fucking mainstream media. And now you got these social media algos. You got our phones that know everything about us. You're telling me they can't find a jury of people who are Googling Andrew Tate sucks on his phone? I bet they fucking can.
Oh, yeah.
So the jury's set up, the judge is set up. It's all fucking set up head to toe. It's a setup. It's a hit job to get rid of you. That's why Derek didn't stand a fucking chance. They're not going to do half a job. You don't do half an assassination. You do the whole fucking thing. So I would argue that even this, Florida AG and Ron DeSantis, if they were really concerned, they could have done all this shit in private. They could have said, Andrew Tate's back. Look into him. Didn't have to say a word to nobody.
Right.
So why are they preparing the public for my arrest?
Right.
Why are they talking about how bad I am on the news all the time? Why did Byron, who's Ron's competitor, get told by his team, you need to say Andrew's a bad guy? Who in charge of all of this has said, every time Andrew's name's on the media, prepare everyone for his arrest. Tell everyone he's a bad guy and he deserves it. This is a setup.
Right.
It is a setup. And they're going to arrest me. And they're going to fucking perp walk me. And I'm saying it here now. And I've been in Florida 8 days. I've never done anything. But that's what they're going to do. And a bunch of dipshits are going to start recirculating it, saying I'm guilty.
Mm-hmm. You think about going back to Romania?
You can't run from the American government, friend.
Yeah, right.
It's like there's nowhere to go. Where the fuck am I going to go? Iran? Russia? North Korea? If America wants you, they're going to get you. There's nowhere else on the world you can go if America wants you. If they put a fucking warrant out, they're going to get me. Plus, I'm not really the running type.
Right.
What I want to be, if I have to look at my life and how it's all going to end, I want to at least be a poisoned toad. You can eat me, but you're going to damage your reputation massively for doing it. Mm-hmm. I'll go to jail. I've had a great life. I'm 38. I've had a fantastic life. I'll go to the next 30 years in jail. Fine. I really don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. I'll go to jail, but people are going to be mentioning the fact that you're fucking corrupt forever. I'll take that trade. Right. But I'm going to make them do what they don't want to do. What they actually want to do, which is what they did via the Romanians, the UK Foreign Office, what they want me to do is run and then use a foreign system to wreck me. What they want me to do is say, America's after me, I'm going to go live in India, and then get picked up by an Indian cop and get accused of having weed in my car or some dumb shit and get put in Indian jail. And that's what they want to do. They want to leave me there and not fucking help me, like they did with the Romanians when they told the Romanians to get rid of me, and the American embassy didn't fucking help me, and they just left me there. Mm-hmm. Left me to fucking rot, knowing that was a bullshit case, knowing it was made up because they were told to do it. They want to use foreign judicial systems. So I'm going to argue, no, if you want to do a fucking hit job on me, you're going to have to do it in Florida, in front of everyone, in the public. You're going to have to come out and tell everyone what I've done and put all the case files out there, and we're going to have to do it in public if you're really intending on doing it, because they're setting up the media to do it, which is why they're talking so publicly.
Right.
It's a fucking setup. It's a setup, and it's scary to a degree. I should be a lot more afraid than I am, but this has been 4 years of my life now. It's amazing how quickly the human mind can adapt.
Right.
All I expect is this shit. Every day I wake up like, who's next? So it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's what it is. And any single details on the case, when this bullshit happens, whether I'm in jail or not, I'll make sure you get all of them. So you can tell everybody what fucking garbage they're coming at me with for being in Florida for 8 fucking days. 8 days. It's incredible.
They didn't get to anybody if they get to Republicans. People I really look up to.
Bro,
to volunteer their information about you with no evidence. I was like, that's really weird.
It's extremely weird. Yeah. And I wouldn't say, like I said, I wouldn't say I'm shocked. I know the kind of control they have. It's all power games, right? If you're playing a game of chess, you're prepared to sacrifice a pawn or a piece or anything it takes to win. Ron's desperate to get his wife as governor. Byron's desperate to win. There's too many people who are desperate to win who are prepared to throw me under a bus. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
There's no individual law. There's no individual liberty. There's no law and order. All of that's made up. It's all power games. It's kind of interesting if you want to...
It's violence.
Well, yeah, it's violence. If you want to understand government and you want to understand politics, sell drugs on the street, you'll understand it all. It's territory. It's violence. It's fucking traitors. It's snakes. It's people working with the feds. It's all this shit. It's exactly the same at the top. They don't give a fuck about me. Either one of them will sell me out for fucking anything. They don't care. And I think both of them have been told that I'm toast. And that's what they're talking publicly. That's what I think. And I'm not saying that as an admission of guilt at all, because I've done nothing.
Right.
Especially in Florida. They have jurisdiction in Florida. I have literally not left my house. So I don't have a fucking clue what they're intending on doing. It's scary. So when they arrest me, it shows how scary it is. And I hope every American at home also understands that. It's supposed to be, the basic rule of law is, oh, look, we've identified a crime. Let's find who did the crime. It's not supposed to be, look, we've identified a man. Let's find crimes to pin on the man.
Right.
That's communism.
This is not live.
That's Joseph Stalin.
This
That's
already
Russia.
was done.
That's everything we went and fought against. That's the reason we had the forgotten war in Korea, where thousands of men died. That's the reason the North and South Korea is split to this day. That's the reason all those young Americans died in Vietnam. That's the reason my father served in the Air Force. That's the reason we were all proud to be American, to fight against communism. That was the whole fucking point of it. That's why I have the passport. And I land home in the country which I was born in, which my father served for, and I'm not fucking welcome. Why? Because a liberal George Soros-funded NGO lied to the Romanian news. And now Ron DeSantis is going to pretend anything the fucking Romanians say matters. Because if it does, I bust my case. If you listen to the Romanians, I'm innocent. So what the fuck are you even talking about?
Right.
It's a setup, head to toe, man.
Yeah.
Head to toe.
Well, if anybody can survive it, I think you can. You're a very strong will. So
come visit me in jail.
I'd have fucking pissed on myself and gave up and don't want to dress by now.
Promise to come visit me. That's all I want.
Romania?
In jail here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right, G.
I'll put some money on your books.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'll get some ramen. I'll be like, these are HodgeTwins ramen. I'll have you guys famous around the block.
Right.
I got it. Don't worry.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's big though for HodgeTwins though, man. But I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna ever do that type of videos, man. That shit long as fuck. That was like 3 hours, bruh. I ain't gonna lie, but hey, I actually enjoyed it. Andrew Tate, yeah, I fuck with him. I fuck with the HodgeTwins. The only reason why I was like just interested in this because, you know, it was like a big podcast. This was a big deal because, you know, HodgeTwins. I've been wanting to see them get like bigger figures inside, you know, their podcasts, and Andrew Tate was like a perfect one. I was like, oh yeah, for these two people, they be over here talking shit. They throw Andrew Tate in there. Oh yeah, it's just everything is just, you know, no holds barred. Everything is just pretty much all the red tape is cut off for real. So that's why I wanted to really react to it. But I'm actually about to get up out of here. I'm gonna end the live. I'm gonna just fucking relax. I gotta take care of some shit, and hope y'all have a good one. I appreciate y'all coming through. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit post notification bell so go live make a video. Of course, thank you, please. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate it.